exec like that on a... This is a reset round for them, and they did go through mid, which is the call, right? You don't want to go in through one of the mains against this double senti comp. You want to abuse mid if you're 2G, but the pace they just played at was crazy.
The fact that it's the 4 players going in through mid, usually the mid's maybe like 3 players. It's the lighter side that you end up attacking.
Right.
Doug, you're the problem. Doug, you're the problem. Doug, you're the problem.
I don't want this to be the thing. Like, I don't want this.
Okay, leave. The fact that it's the 4 players going in through mid, usually
do it. No, given how you guys handled that one round that I wasn't a part of, production telling me that I'm not allowed to leave. Actually, they're begging that I stay. So I'm going to have to go ahead and listen to them because they're the ones who
name a name, Doug.
signed my paycheck, and it's not you guys. John Riot.
I don't want.
See, now I know you're lying. John Riot and I go way back, and I know John Riot doesn't like you that much.
Production telling me that I'm not allowed to leave. We are being told it is a monitor issue. So as is always the case, we're going to fix it as expeditiously as possible and get back into the fun stuff. And it's not you guys. John Riot. We got to talk about the middle of the map. We got to talk about how Crew has been fighting it. Do you expect that to be a bit more of the pace?
What's up, Chad?
What I expect out of Crew, it's a little bit different because 2G don't have that Sova, right? That you're so used to seeing on Ascent. It's been so long that we've seen Sovas and even the Fade meta. But Teo is way different because once you break the drone, the lack of info is kind of crazy. And I think Crew should really focus on trying to break the stealth drone as quick as possible. It got a lot of value going up mid right there, which is why the pace was so aggressive. If I'm Coach Adam right here, I'm probably thinking, you know, like, we have to shut down this drone. We have to stall them out in mid and at very least slow down the pace of their set plays because that's what this team is going to run on right now, set plays.
Yeah, the thing I'm really worried about for 2G is, you know, a little bit down the road, like, well, what happens when Kesnet gets an op in his hands, right? Because I think that can kind of be a deal breaker when you're not, you know, when you're allowed to, like, take the aggressive looks through a smoke in mid or something like this. And then the other side of the map, you can, if you try and run away from the op, there's this double stall that's just going to be frustrating you on the other end of things. So that's usually, to me, when these double senti comps become kind of unbeatable on defense, is when you have a strong opper that can show the aggro looks and the passive, you know, double side holds are equally effective on the other side.
I hate to cut you off there. I'm sure what you were saying was very.
You didn't cut me off. I stopped talking.
Very
I was
provoking
done with
and
my
very
points.
interesting, but I didn't listen to a single word. This week, we sat down with Kesnet to get the story and the lowdown behind his ink, which actually looks really freaking cool. Check it out.
Este tatuaje obviamente me lo hice porque el nombre de mi mamá y es algo muy especial para mí. Este tatuaje que tengo aquí con este otro son tatuajes que tengo con mi hermano. Este que tengo aquí es la fecha de nacimiento de mi papá y este es una florcita que es algo que me representa, me gusta tener como, es como que me da como vida. Esos son mis tatuajes.
We are back. I am being told that we're just a few moments away from getting back into the action. It is always cool to get responses and get thoughts on, like, why the ink, right? And it's cool to get a little insight there from Kesnet, your GOAT.
I love Kesnet. I love him. He's so funny. I mean, the whole team is actually hilarious behind closed doors. But here we have that Teo ult. Mel's are cooking. Goes into Attic, and it seems like just a 1-for-1, and normally on defense, a 1-for-1, no bueno, right? It's not good. But in that scenario, 2G, like I said, they wanted to have these set plays, the A main aggression out of Crew with the double senti, trying to filter them into the B site. I mean, so A site has this aggressive push coming, B site locked down with the double senti. Mid again.
Interesting here, Shy doesn't put his trips down.
Wow.
Spike down.
One of the 2 rifles for Crew.
Yeah, PXS getting dealt with. But look, you know, we talked so much about the double senti comp, and this is a really interesting approach here. You put the Deadlock util B, but the Cypher's also B, but his trips aren't down.
Well, that's because you look at his econ right now. If the round is winnable, I think he's going to put these trips down. But you want to try to carry those into the next round. You're buying them, and you want to use them if the round is winnable. But otherwise, it's going to mess up your buy for next round.
Well, so far, so good. 1 kill found. They've dropped the paranoia out. That counter flash is going to buy a little bit of time here. Where do the rotations come through? Volcenti still playing back towards B. Remember, there is a gun deficit as Melser falls. Adverso trying to dance behind Jenny, and the Jett just running him down. Yeah, there's not a lot of bite behind this. I think you're right, Sean. Shy's going to carry those trips into the next.
The timing 2G went for there was perfect. It was caught in this time right after Melzer put down the one-way smoke, and I don't think Mazzino can really play for this, but it meant there was no second smoke for Melzer to actually put on site to sort of hide behind once 2G came flooding out of main.
Yeah, it made it so much more difficult. 2 weapons upgraded from the defense. Shy's also going to get a kill. On to Gobert, get a little bit closer here to his ult, but you imagine they're going to try to clutch onto those and try to carry them into the next round.
I actually think Crew are going to go for some exit frags right here. They're looking to play the econ. Shy puts that cam down, and he's looking to get more kills right here.
Oh, he's going to try. One of the members is very weak. Look at Luis's HP, just 7 health. Does he dare swing out here?
Are they going to hide in the smoke?
They are.
Oh, it was planted backside, so it didn't actually reach all the way to them.
Yeah, a little spam into the smoke. No exits found, but guns carried over.
I love the game plan here out of Crew, considering it's not even their map pick. They're aggressing really heavy with this double Senti comp, like you pointed out. I'm curious to see if this continues.
It's a bit odd though, because like they keep going for like half buys or like saving some rifles. So even going into round 6, they don't have enough money to actually go for an op, which surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, this is definitely a good timeout for Coach Adam. And like I said, I think the way mid is just being grabbed so quickly is a bit of a problem for Crew. I know that was a half buy. It wasn't really much for Crew.
I know, but I did
but 4-1 with the double Senti comp right now, they're heading towards must-win territory, actually.
Yeah.
Very quickly in this first half.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the times that we've seen this comp on the defensive side, it just shines. And they have not been able to replicate that success at all. I think 2G is starting to abuse a couple of those windows that they found, a lot of it across the middle of the map, like you were saying, Sean.
So Crew have some big ultimates to play with coming into this round, right? They've got Sova plus Yoru, great combination if they want to either use that aggressively or even going for some retake looks with that.
Kind of have the same thing here.
Check out the positioning of some of these players.
Later,
I almost wonder if Crew start to play some more like crossfire angles in towards mid, like back mid 3 to market, those types of ideas to shut down these splits.
Yeah, you can see Adverso's kind of roaming in the back lines right now. I think he's just trying to play both sides with his Hunter's Fury, have the rotate ready. Maybe a deep dart again, A main here?
Why would this change all of a sudden?
Early net. Of course, the big change with Deadlock coming in that you can spam those away. Refresh after 40 seconds.
So is it $14? $4.99 days?
I was shocked when I heard the net and the pull-up. I thought for sure Adverso was going to pop all.
He was close with it, but decides to hang on to it. A little trigger discipline. Orb scooped up. A lot of attention B.
So this would be the
seems like that's where they're rotating.
$4.99 days?
Silence not able to connect onto that shot. And now Kesnet's going to pop the ult. And he's going to see all this rotation through. I wonder if they're freezing.
But is the duration
they're waiting in
You're
spawn.
going to spend $999.
And so if they get the timing on this right.
Ooh, he's in trouble.
Yes, he is. With a bit of false info,
hey, what's up,
if he had seen the people rotating in through spawn, there'd be a mad dash B.
This is awkward now for Crew. Sure, they've got the utility to play off of over on this B site.
How do they get through this with the Hunter's Fury in spawn?
And through Kesnet. That's also a massive part of the problem. The flash through, you hear the orb picked up, so you know there's at least one more here. Beautifully played by Verso, playing just out of the range of the KO. And so now the Hunter's Fury through Kesnet, back sight. Oscar dropping, they've hit a wall. They can't get out of main.
I don't even know if you can play this round.
Yeah, 20 seconds left. They're not going to be able to get back to A in time. They've been stalled out beautifully.
We on cam.
10 seconds left.
Especially when you're waiting that long to exec into the double Senti site. Because they didn't really have any scouting. If you think about it, they got netted out A main, didn't really test forward out of that, either than seeing the Deadlock on that side, but Deadlock actually had a stun set up on B very early into the round. And that Yoru ult just allowed Crew to set up here, take this fight. Just anchor back.
I'll say you can complain that they went too slow against the double Senti comp, but I'll play the other side and I'll say Crew made them play slow with that early C's. If they speed up into A, they're gonna meet the Hunter's Fury A. It's gonna be trouble. If they go back to B, they're into the double Senti right away. Kesnet has all the info, so they have to slow down there. That was a very difficult round for 2G. Well played by Crew to get their second.
You're gonna need more of that though, because we've talked about it during the break. The defensive side needs to be successful.
Look,
given the
double swing about to come in from Mazino. Maybe he's just taking himself. What?
Oh, wow.
Mazino dropped. Melser still playing on the other side of the smoke, but this feels to me, and I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on this. This feels to me like Crew are forcing some of these fights, man, too early.
I was a bit surprised by that. I thought Melzer was going to try to take that angle with him, but instead it was kind of a 1-by-1-by-1, even with 4 players stacked on this side.
Yeah, the hesitation. Knife's going to tag the Cypher, playing towards B. Bit of a mess here.
What's up, Caden?
Flash shot onto
Welcome
the
to the
side. They're not
channel.
gonna find anyone here. They don't really have any ults. I mean, Melser has his ult to reposition, I guess, but this is a
great
difficult. He might
shot.
die. 5 HP.
Not even close.
Not even close. Yo, what's up, Maniac?
Crew again are in a situation where they have to figure out: do they want to invest into this? Do they want to attempt this retake?
Very difficult. We just heard the Thorns go down, Paranoia and Hell. We have missiles gonna get recharged very soon. And the suppression, I don't know how Crew come back into the round.
Yeah, I don't know that they find a way in either. And it felt a little, half-hearted there.
All right, let's go
Why
2G.
Double Senti looks so insane when we saw Cloud9 versus Lev, right?
Who did
But
2G
this is
beat?
the opposite side. If you lose some of these opening engagements and you're forced into these retakes, you got nothing.
Yep.
You have absolutely nothing. And if the Teo is one of the people that lives, or the Vice, you know, it is brutal. You have nothing to get back in.
Well, now that poses the question I want to ask you guys is, if is it that they're forcing the early fights too much? Do they need to be playing further back? Do they need to let their
Yeah,
utility
you are correct,
do
Maniac.
its
You
thing?
are correct.
Well, the salvo usage right there, there was one in main, one in wine. And I can see what Kesnet's going for. He's trying to play this middle ground and trying to get a quick fight and then TP out.
Sure.
Right? But the KO flash from PXS was goated. It was so good. And in addition to that, I think
I didn't get to
Kesnet
watch
needs to
like
be
any of the
jumping
Sentinels
back
game yesterday,
towards
man. That was
the
sad.
smoke wall, right?
Not towards them, right?
Yes, he needs to go to make them earn that kill. They would need to run further towards, the orb side. That was a bit of a misplay from Kesnet.
Well, I think eyes are going to be on Kesnet this round. He finally has money for the Operator. Round 8 on defense. Very late for Map of Ascent. And yet 2G have sort of called around him in this early stage so far. They're still holding on to the drone from Gobera.
13-3, 13-2. All right, so this is already a little bit better.
To make sure they can clear these early angles and actually get into a site.
Man, I tried to do Maniac. I should have done this live on stream. I'm not going to do it now because it was like a major pain, but
yeah, has to give it up. There's still a lot of utility here, though, as Verso's going to try to dig his heels in backside. The TP drop from Melser to reinforce some of the numbers, bolster the defense as best as they can. Paranoia looks like it might miss the mark, and now they're going to swing it behind it. Lane no longer Cruise. It's been 2Gs for the taking. Still a little bit of presence across the back of the site. Kesnet not finding the right timing. Verso's now dead. B is 2Gs.
Their side hits have just been perfect.
Beautiful.
Getting all these kills back site. You remember a few rounds ago, that was repeated, but wait, the spike is up there. We're getting grabbed. There's only 25 seconds left, Doug.
Yeah, but Kesnet has a really nice timing. He's got a really good space to handle around. Opts to put down the op.
The spike is still on switch.
Switch it over for lighter weaponry. A 2v3 here.
Woo! That was close.
That stall out looked
Dude.
like it was going to be trouble.
That was so close, man.
That was crazy. That was
I'm not sure why the KO rushed up or went up to the door. That doesn't really make sense. That doesn't really make sense.
Knife back sight to give details on a player.
Hey, Maniac, will you do me a favor? Will you check something for me?
Nice little bait piece there, too, from Louise on the swing.
Yeah, that was clean.
Just like in the last map you were talking about, the first bait pulls out a shot, so then he goes for the quick wide swing.
Yeah.
Instant kill.
Second time out from Crew.
I mean, this is we've touched on it a couple of times.
Even though
but
they
getting
threw, they
confidence
still
around
made
This
it.
is, for all intents and purposes, a disaster, right? It's 6-6. Can you even count that a success, given the double senti comp on defense?
I don't think so. I mean, Deadlock is very powerful with the rechargeable net, right? I think they'll have ease taking A main with a C's. You know, you could net A main off barrier, get it, and then recharge for the hit.
Sure.
And that's very powerful. But they're going against the Teo, which could also just missile main.
Right.
So if the Teo's in the right spot, they're going to have a lot of trouble next half. I'm a little worried for Crew right now on this map.
Honestly, I am as well. And you can see Adam on your screen sharing some of that sentiment, very animated as he tries to.
Hey Maniac,
control
will
and
you
corral his
look
troops
at
and
my
find some sort
TikTok
of an attempt
page
to come back
and
down
just see
4
if I have a
rounds on
bio
what
for
should
you or
be
not?
Their stronger side. 2G have found a way to.
Because I put in a
really
bio,
dissect
but when I load
what
it up,
should
it
be
says
trap
no
upon
bio
trap
yet.
upon
But if I
traps.
refresh,
We've gone through the alt cycle on Crew.
it
Look at the
shows
alts.
my actual
2G has
bio,
weathered the
and then
storm,
it like
they're
deletes it again.
chilling. They are
I don't
chilling
know how
at
to describe
6-2.
it.
We just saw a round with Omenal and Deadlock ult.
It's okay. You can
The
just
solo alt
click
would
on it
lead
and
Crew
see.
around,
Here,
but
I'll make it
look at
easy
a couple
for you.
of those apps.
Yeah,
Just
Crew
click
might
on
only
that
get the Yorult
and
for the
see if
rest
you
of this
can
half,
see a
to be
bio.
honest.
That's all
Because
you have to
you know
do.
if
Tell me
he
if you can
gets
see a
kills,
bio at all. It'll be very
This has
short.
been tough,
It'll
and
say
it's
something
what's
like
going on.
financial
Right now,
advisor
Keznit playing
giving free
solo
advice.
bottom mid, he teleports out because his TP was just about to run away.
Right.
And look at the timing of this drone. They know the timing of the Yoru TP. Very well played. This cam is goated for B. It's a foot cam for mid. So it gives you this info. And you can see right now, Keznit playing off of that cam info on the spawn rotate. Leaning A now.
The wall goes up from the deadlock.
Okay, so
right
you see
around the
it.
time that
Very
refresh
interesting. I
utility
wonder
should
if
come
I
back
have a
up.
cached version of the
This
site.
is much more similar
that's
to
why
how
it's-
Cloud9 were executing
Whoa,
this
whoa,
comp.
whoa. Crew are really leaning into
quite
the safe side. Now,
frustrating.
Keznit can TP
Quite
back to B, but he just lost the window on that. And now by breaking this wall, 2G maintained that threat on A, but they're always going back into a B split here.
That was a big play that we missed right there. Mizzino stepped ahead of the salvos, got the info, and now the rotate is already coming into B.
There's going to be a clash on the site. Is there any utility to keep them back? You still have some. You're going to have to reckon with Askia Falls. Adverso finding a little bit of moment of respite, a pause in the smoke. Luis, and now waiting for his right time to strike.
All right.
It's all onto silence
Oh.
now. A 1v2. He's done well to get it this far, but he's going to have to scoop up the spike. So far, so good.
10 seconds.
First box checked, and now they're going to flood out behind it. The Paranoia not going to connect. Time found. The swing is there. He's
Oh!
going to 1-1. Try to land the shot. 6 bullets left. Make that 4. One
Oh!
to find.
What a
Bullet
try.
did not
What a
land.
try.
It was a great attempt. Honestly, the shots just weren't hitting right there for Silence, who's typically an insane mechanical player. Watched him throughout the Ascension tournament. It was Spike and Silence. Just
I'm not going to say your name, but what's up, Jin? Welcome to the TikTok. Welcome to the TikTok.
It was incredible to watch.
I mean, even with the missed shots, like how quickly he's trying to like readjust and take the next fight because he trusted his aim.
Yeah. You could see he had the whole thing thought out.
Yeah.
Right? Before the plant, he put that flash down and he knew exactly what he was going to do. There's nothing you can do. You're not laughing, you're crying right there.
Did
Yeah,
you guys
that
play
would feel
competitive
like that would
Valorant
go
last
right
night or
Still a good
competitive
lead for the
Rivals? I'm
attack,
assuming
though.
Valorant, right, Maniac?
3 rounds for 2G. And Gobert's 1 off of his ult. Silence is close to his too.
Early net sent into A main again. It feels like after the timeout, Crew have fallen into this. Yoru playing bot mid, a little bit of A main control shown. So Keznit has quickly repoed over towards A.
Locating target.
That's a really early drone. Minute
Yeah.
23 on the clock.
Yeah, it
Slightly
really
worried
is.
for Crew. They're floating in the mid ground right now at all 3. It's a little dangerous.
They've moved back into that the last couple of rounds. There's been some open. Whoa, whoa, whoa. B main. Adverso's just facing that and getting a kill. Sure, why not?
I think that's the first time we've seen Silence on the lurk, so big win right there. And Shy is able to use the neural theft.
And it's going to find out that everyone is out towards A. A little bit of an attempt at a delay. But it's really all to their dismay. I mean, they're walled off. They can't find a way in. 2 kills found on the attack, but Melser. I'm surprised he got turned on there. Luis once again in 1vx situation. The need to deliver for his team, but Heaven was not cleared.
Man.
Such an important 2 rounds for Crew to win back-to-back there.
Yeah, I fell asleep
Start
last
getting
night
some
putting the kids to
their way at
putting
the
the
end of
kids to
this
bed.
half.
Didn't
Verso
I woke
finding
back
some
up at
kills
like
as well.
11
He's
p.m.
gonna be able
bro.
to have an ultimate online for the final round, too. It's not undoable to bring it back 6-6.
That's pretty sick teamwork right there. Shy with that high cam, Adverso swinging off of it like that. That's really cool.
2 rounds between these two. Kesnit has his ult again, and Cabrera's got his.
There we go. That's the break I've been
Hey,
looking
is that
for.
a kick
Great
follow
play by
that just
Kesnit,
happened?
And now the round is going to be quite difficult for 2G.
Okay,
Used their
you're one of
K9
these
too,
bots,
so
Mark.
Until a minute on the
Give me
clock,
any
there's
message
been
other than
any
this
real
bot
options
message,
to
Mark,
scout, and even then,
and I'll believe you're
not so
real, okay?
reliable.
Any message other than this bot message, and I'll
Yeah,
believe you're
work
real.
done too to
I love
break the
that.
wall too.
Anything. You could say, I hate you for calling me a bot,
After
and I'll believe you're
barrier,
real.
So they know they can do that. And there we go. Lurk through from Askia.
He's so far up here. And Zeno just on the other side. The timing of this is going to be really funny. He's just looking for any advantage he can get. But now position given away. Kesnit's getting a lot of info, and Askia's feeling the walls closing in. He had no shot.
That's just a great reactive play there from Crew. Responding into mid, now 2G trying to speed up to A, to B.
Wait, 3 crew players were hit by that Visal.
Yeah.
This
Well, I mean, look at the stun. There's still a trip. Like, Crew can stall back sight.
And Mazzino joined up. He was one of the
Oh.
2 that did not get hit by the ult. Luis checking into the smoke. It's going to be Luis who again has to deliver, but these numbers,
Well,
situations they find themselves in are just
see you
not
later,
paying
ult.
off. The adjustments on the other side of the
bye-bye.
top have been exactly what Crew needed.
and to add salt to the wound, Luis used his ult at the end of that round.
Oh,
I heard the Omen ult.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh man, the tail and the Omen ult now gone. He was trying to dip and go to A. Oh. Oh, they are
That's
feeling
a
it now.
pop-up and a half. What?
All right.
that's what I was. So that was
Homie
something I was
is
excited about with
fired
this
up.
setup. The
He's like
fact that
2
they're-
feet away from 2G.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
like round 1 at kickoff, Adverso was like, I was waiting for the Adverso pop off. I knew we were gonna get it if Crew
I
went
don't
up.
know what.
Got it in round 11. They've put together a
It's over
ferocious
for me.
comeback. I believe the score was 6-2. But the
Just
misaligned
feels like it could
defensive
be
approach has been rectified.
Again, you can just see
It's
Kevin annoying.
his
Slow
goal
things
is just to be
down. Don't let them
annoying.
get
Slow
mid
things
for
down.
free
Don't
because
let
our
them get
mid for free because our sites are just so bolstered with this double Senti comp.
Ooh, good baiting there from 2G. Get both the stun, the wall, and the grab net.
And they can instantly clear the wall out and then just take a step back. Both deadlock ults. Going to be invested, but one of them being connected onto. Do you let Askia go? Do you cut your losses?
got to
Meanwhile,
look
there's a
at mid.
crunch across the middle of the map. Mazzino's going to get his. PXS on the swing, though. The middle of the map is not safe for the attack right now, and neither is A.
Gabe, welcome to the channel.
Silence and Louis trying to figure this out on their own, and the controller
Oh,
staying
man.
strong.
You've got a
You
game
can dance if
going
you
here,
want
Doug.
to.
We do indeed. 6-6,
GG.
the double timeout from Coach Adam, and the second one pays dividends.
Switching sides.
All right, so they have no timeouts for the
4
second half.
rounds
Is
to
that right?
Close out the half. Again, it looked dire. It did not look good. It seemed like they were just going to get rolled over, and then there were all the concerns about the attacking half. But, you know, oddly enough, the success that they found in this round was very reminiscent of how they approached the early round. Once they understood where the attack was, they crunched. So decisive in that fight.
Kesnit getting that timing down bottom, and it was absolutely huge. Melzer also refighting Tree. Excellent from him.
A 6-6 half. Didn't know if we'd get here, but lo and behold, here's where we are. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break.
Red Bull gives you wings.
What to do with Hey, I don't know how to pronounce your name, whoever just came into TikTok, but welcome. Welcome.
Tied 6-6. Crew managed to put together a ferocious comeback to keep this thing competitive, and now it's going to be 2G on the defensive side. If you are just joining us, welcome. I'm Doug. With me on the call is Sean and Ender. And fellas, there were a lot of doubts around Crew being able to pull it together, but they did.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, 2G again, they had a great start out of the gates, but Crew came alive in that second half of Icebox. They won the pistol bonus. 2G cannot allow that to happen right now. They have to get this pistol. They have to get off to a good start.
Well, that knife's going to scout at least 3 players, maybe even a 4th.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. This net in A main, oh, wow. They are scaling despite scanned?
They're so bold in this.
That's so sick. Eating up the paranoia, too. Now waiting on the other side, but Gobert finding that kill almost forces Crew to continue into A now.
And given that it was a double face, you don't know if they're committing to the lurk or not, so they have to accelerate towards the side, as you mentioned. Luis, perfect timing on the swings. Oski was there to punch back, but Mazzino's now left in a 1v3. 38 HP. I don't know how he converts this. Gotta commit to getting the spike down, gonna get flushed out by the salvos. Gobert bookends the round.
Man, sacrificing
All right, let's
himself
go,
for the
2G.
extra cash
That's
off
how
the
we begin a
plant.
round.
You gotta respect it, because there's no way he's winning that 1v3.
No, not at all.
That was sick counter aggression out of 2G. They feel that A hit, they double push out of B, they find the 2v1 against Shy. Gobert's already at 4 orbs right now. He's halfway to this tail ult again.
And then that 2K from Luis back Jenny. Get out, bro.
Dude, this guy has won 3 pistols for them in this
Yeah.
year.
Seriously?
They've won 3 of the 4 pistols, and he's literally won 3 of them.
Yeah, because even here on Ascend, he had like the 1v2 like double
Icebox,
headshot collat.
Triple kill flank.
Man.
Now, if you guys caught in the chat, Kesnet commenting on how it felt like it was forced. Like they understand, or at least Kesnet did there, that round was forced. They pushed it too much. That flash is filthy.
Yo, that flash.
Whoa!
It's a micro stun too, or a micro flash, excuse me. It won't flash the players ahead of it.
Dude, he got the orb?
He's gonna try to push into this. Again,
What is going on?
Gunfire erupting.
There's a lot of gun slots. They need to run. They need to run.
I can't believe 2G were able to hold their ground while being all netted there in B main. Like, that was insane.
I mean, forced to take the fight with no real option otherwise.
I was surprised the net got them, because, I mean, they were mudded up. They were ready to play in the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, they're going to
Hopefully
leave
get
a good gun
replay
on the
of that.
ground.
2G able to figure it out. They carry an Outlaw, a Bulldog, and a Stinger into the next round, but what a wild round.
A set play to get the B orb on the Eagle. That's kind of crazy.
Kind of using the enemy Cypher cage to their advantage there almost.
Yeah.
Allowed them to deal with the net, grab the orb, etc. But now's where I kind of want to see Crew really slow down the pace on these rounds. Like, I feel like they've got tools to deal with 2G's comp, and accelerating is maybe a little bit tougher with the double senti, but like,
Yo, what's up,
let's see
Loke?
if we can get this Yoru clone activated to deal with the Vise utility,
What is up,
work that space into
my
mid,
brother?
get someone embedded for the lurk.
There's a net that was thrown across the middle of the map, presumably to set up Kesnet on a good fight. The clone, as you mentioned, getting active, finding a little bit of value, understanding that there's an Outlaw waiting B.
Kesnet feeling confident, though. All 5 players on Crew full shields right now. They're down to challenge this Outlaw.
It seems like they're going to try. Oskia with weapon in hand. Crosshair trained on main, but the threat's elsewhere.
Thing is, right now, Crew playing B.
Yo, what a shot.
That's snappy.
That's the value of the full shields.
A deep wall, too, to cut off any rotation coming in through main. So they've isolated Silence. He's on an island here. He's going to have to figure this one out on his own.
Silence has his flash.
Oh,
on lane.
no.
I think he's gonna swing with this flash. 3-2.
He's going to have
Great.
to try. Verso falls.
Nice.
He's done a really good
Oh.
job at getting him this far. 2 kills found.
All right.
Time
This is going
bought.
to be a hard entry.
And now reinforcements have arrived. Kesnet with 10 HP, trying to play around lane. The shoulder just barely betraying some of the threat, but Shy.
And dead.
Shy is going to play spoiler, isn't he? Finds a kill.
Oh.
Turn. It's a little bit too
Oh!
it's a little bit too
Let's
cumbersome.
go.
And Louise is there to save the round.
With the
But who
Stingers,
ulted?
2G are just winning that
Rivera?
round. I mean, it all goes back to Silence. That flash swing, like you were talking about, was nasty.
And
Let's
man,
go.
that's what Vice is so strong with this hidden flash that you could just play off of. These players just know the timings, the spacings at the pro level, entering the B site. Such good timing on the flash.
Yeah, because the flash, it's set up above lane, but it's still hitting the stairs player coming out. So him swinging, getting stairs first, because there could still be players back lane that are coming in unflashed to trade, then taking the wide angle on those guys. Ooh, that's clean.
2G converting the bonus. In a really nice position here. They've got an op in the hands of Askia. They've got a couple of ults coming up soon too.
And how different is it to have the off now so early on in this round?
The
position Louise had in CAD as well could have given options to Paranoia.
Yo, he's not going to be ready for this.
He's going to have a chance to find value.
Oh, we missed! Oh, no. He wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready for it, man.
Just talking about the value of the op.
Kesnet with the ult into sight too to help his team speed up in.
Oh, they might be able to salvage this around it. Got a little messy. Op still not picked up. Louise not able to settle. Not able to control the spray. Silence from up top. This has become such a mess. Adverso again.
Woo! Go grab the op, bro. Go grab the op, bro. What are you doing?
Save the op,
bro.
but we'll move on.
Cut him. I'm taking his spot. I'm taking his spot.
They just need the round.
You know what?
Yo, how did you get the heart emoji as your name here on TikTok? How did you do that?
The Yorult's gone. This is a colossal dub to get out of this round right now. I didn't have time to draw attention to it, but some of the little cringe things this double senti comp that Crew is running can do. Shy has the cam high at tiles, and it was looking for the cat cheat.
Yeah.
He then went back in spawn and was contact on cat after they broke his cams.
Oh, PXS is in trouble. Really cool idea. The net.
Yo, what a counter!
Once again, perfect.
And the flash had to be there because the net hitting him. There's no way 2G are running out of that situation now. They can hold their
ground. 2G looks great right now.
It forces the lurk up mid, which isn't going to work either. 2G are just running away with it.
Askia connecting with the op. Middle of the map controlled. And Crew, I mean, what do you do for the rest of this round here? You save? Can you save through a whole minute of the round?
Yes, of course you can.
I think they could because
2G is going to be still doing site defense and stuff. Let me go put this cut back. Grab it.
Look at their economy right now.
Hey, what's up, Miko?
I'm
free advice guy. What questions you got?
These Crew players could punish them potentially, and if they win the next round, then 2G would be broke. That's the way Crew gets back into this game. I think it would be a big mistake for 2G to hunt these two guns.
Well, it doesn't seem like they're going to, which will give us a chance to podcast a little bit, chat about what's going on. I mean, Crew have really just kind of slammed their heads into a wall this entire half. Do you expect a timeout on the other side of this, given that they've had some time to talk to?
Didn't they use both timeouts in the first half?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of...
Because their defense was abysmal at the start. They started off 2-6, took that second timeout, course corrected, but that's bad news.
They're trying to hunt. Surely.
Just PXS, who's one off of his ult. I get the idea. Maybe he gets a kill, takes a weapon out of their hands.
Man, that's one of those scenarios where it's okay to lose a gun, but you don't want to have your economy in shambles. Hunting these two. Louise gets his ult online, and the Omen ult, I meme on it a lot, but Ascent is one of the maps where the Omen ult goes crazy, and we saw it last half when Melser was able to just TP from A to B on the B hit. It allows you to bolster both sites simultaneously. Because of how Omen functions at this A site.
I really want to see Crew maybe play less committed into the main space early in the rounds. It was kind of what was a problem for them on their defensive side too. They just kept losing these early fights, those brawls. This time, oh, that's a very early drone.
But he's got cover. I mean, that's the second time we see that. A net catches someone early, but there's always a second layer.
Yeah, and there's that little gap there in the wall that you can spam with the Guardian. Shy was trying to get the pings off that.
That is a diabolical Vice Flash.
Yeah, that's a second.
You can dance if you want to.
Really
Yulia. Oh man, I didn't see the name before on the TikTok. Yulia.
He's cooking on this Vice.
Welcome to my TikTok.
Oh, jump spot or a little shoulder peek out from PXS. The delay a little bit longer. Oh, this is weird. They're going to try to flush out and re-clear out main. Melser dodges the first flash, the second one.
They're pushing through.
They've got to find this kill, though. They understand that's where the pressure has to be alleviated, and they find success.
Sniping the up out of heaven with the Deadlock ulti, too.
Bow. Got
And
one.
so now they can approach this retake attempt from both sides.
Ruby Gage, welcome to my TikTok.
Connect. Oh, it's
No
perfect.
way. He TPs across. They never expected that.
No, Louise getting two. Mazzino.
Get this ace, baby. Get this ace.
The ace on the cards. Kesnet, the last one waiting for it. You can tell they want to try to bait it out. But Silence will actually clean it up.
Aww.
Bro, Louise goes IGL. This guy's just dishing out these L's. He's just dishing them out. He is owning. What a call. He feels the cat hit coming in, right? The paranoia cuts through for Tree. And they immediately know, we got to kill the weak side of this hit or we're going to get pinched.
Yep.
They push all the way through. And then he comes back and TPs to Wine.
Like, what is this setup? You have a Wine player. You've got a player boosted up on main, too. Like, how are you ever supposed to deal with that? I don't care what comp you're playing. You're not winning that fight going back to main.
Even the call to go back and fight main in the midst of all that chaos for a new team, that's hard to execute, to commit to on the fly.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
So well played by 2G right there.
That was an incredible play. Great map control,
Spotless record for
great
2G
decision
without
making.
blemish. Early Paranoia out to try to push him off of that space. Paranoia traded back in kind, and now they're going to flood behind it. Louise gets another.
Why
The rampage continues for the controller.
Why was he staying there?
Off the other side of that pop flash, it's surgical. They can do no wrong. Now they can
2G
accelerate
feeling
off
good
of
right
Mazzino.
now.
Hey, Mazzino's going to try to do his best to dig his heels in.
They're
But just
grinding
mowed
out.
over.
Yeah, they're grinding out these trades 2v3. It is winnable for Crew here, Doug.
Winnable, possible, unlikely, and that might have been the final kill to seal the deal. 13-6, the way of 2G.
All right. Yo, what's up, period? Welcome to the TikTok. Welcome to the TikTok live. Lavinia, if you're real on my kick, type any other message other than the one you just typed. Any message, if you're real. Starting to call these dudes out. It's like the new thing they do. It's on Kick. They like this one. Add me on Discord to join your live stream with friends whenever you are streaming. My Discord username is Tolani399. Right? And then the other one's even better. I checked your videos. Seems like you are new in Kick. Not yet affiliated and verified. I got a proposal for you. By sharing your stream to a Kick community for you to gain 1,000 active audience and earn nothing less than $1,000 while streaming. Add me on Discord to discuss more. Hi, Spirit One. Whoo! Hey, what's up, Fog? Wait, I can't tell who it's brought to you by. You gotta tell me who it's brought to you by, Fog. You can't leave me hanging like that, bro. Is that Mike or Make? M-E-I-K. Welcome to the TikTok. Welcome to the TikTok. You can dance if you want to. Hey, Maniac, did you see the preview for my Patreon video? I'm very excited and nervous. And nervous, man. I don't even like looking at it myself. I do like watching the beginning of the video. I really like the beginning of it.
Welcome to Free Advice Guy. I'm Luke Halter, Free Advice Guy. I've been a certified financial planner professional since 2014. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to change the world and give free financial advice to the masses. We're out here in Tempe, Arizona on Mill Avenue, hoping to help people walking by and have a great conversation and help them with their financial futures. With gorgeous flowers, a sign, and a GoPro strapped to... Welcome to Free Advice Guy.
That might be my favorite thing ever, Maniac. I also still like the first commercial I ever did, but yeah. All right, could probably close all this stuff out. Trying to think, should we upload a clip today or what?
Thank you for that. When you were at Vanguard, you were there for 10 plus years, I think, right?
13, baby. 13 plus.
13 plus years. Wow. Did they have a program, or how did they set you up for success?
So there were multiple programs. That was one of the beautiful things about Vanguard. If you wanted to go in a particular direction, and this is the wild thing too, you may want to be an advisor right now. When you might wake up when you're 30 years old and go, you know what? I'm actually way more interested in learning how to price funds and analyze things. I would like to get into fund management. Whatever your life could possibly change, and Vanguard allowed you to really go any direction you wanted. But that's an aside. Yes, they had programs for you to get your certified financial. Ooh. How much stuff have you painted, Archangel? Yo, what's up, Leon? It's kind of cool when you post it in the Stream Team Discord. There is multiple people who went to TwitchCon who did the Bob Ross thing, so they were like pretty stoked to see you post that, man. Yo, that's sick. Planner professional designation, your CFP. If you wanted to get a master's degree, they had tuition reimbursement for that too. But when it just came to career-wise, come talk to me. Ask me a question. Let me help you with your finances. All right, I think we're gonna upload that, baby. What do we think? Boom, 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 boom. Do you have a favorite one? Yo, what's up, burgeoning? Hey. I like these, Archangel. Hey, Archangel, dude, how do you... All of your TikToks, like, they do pretty well. Yo, I really like this one, on the water, the waves, Archangel. The yellow is a little unexpected. It's nice. Ooh, I like this river one as well. Ooh, this mountain one is beautiful as well. Your mountain ones are cool. Yesterday or the day before or whatever. That was like 3 days ago. I think the seascape was the most fun. Yeah, you can totally imagine that. Hey, Archangel, do you have any idea how to get a file from this computer that I'm sitting on now onto a tablet? Any idea? All right, we're getting ready. Like in IAD, I think you could connect it to your PC and copy the file overs. Really?
Chamber though.
Really?
Crew don't play this map.
I'm like,
this is
tech
brand new territory for
okay.
Crew. Sorry, I was trying to go back and I was like, when was the last time?
I don't even know what an
Crew
IAD
played
is,
it?
right? So you just mentioned something I've never even heard of. Bro. I've never even heard of it, bro.
Game that they lost, right?
It's been a while, but let's go back to comps because you're absolutely right. We got shy on Chamber.
Yeah, double Senti.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. Have we seen this?
That's how tech dumb I am. I didn't even assume
We
iPad,
saw this
Archangel.
during kickoff, like this type of comp. We haven't seen it from Crew, but
I guess G2, right?
Oh, I guess that's right.
G2, there was a who
Hold
was
on, let me
playing
see
an EMEA. I'm blanking on it now, but this is definitely something we have seen. Tons of stall, obviously, but also I think just having the option to take fights with two agents that have get out of jail free. Like, there's a lot of options to take those aggressive pieces on defense.
And this is a map that maybe Crew did let it slide to third map because they are running double Senti. They get to pick side. They're starting on defense, and again, the aggression with double. Oh, they get away. They spot the triple push. That info is huge.
Now look at the minimap though. 2G have walked past this wall into mid. Mid basically belongs to them. They actually jumped over with the third player that got blown away. So coming into this B site is going to be tough, especially with Crew falling back. 3 players now ready to fight into street.
They're going to continue to try to push them.
Wow,
Hunt them down.
pistols.
But he still has a little bit of work to do. He has been their saving grace in these pivotal rounds. But now they're slowing down after all of the aggression from Crew towards long.
They're pitching street, Doug.
Towards street.
Look at Chai.
And Verso's in a really tough spot. He's going to have to push into the dog. And PXS wins that duel out. But again, it's Shy. You were mentioning the pinch coming around with Kesnit up in heaven. Shy creeping his way out, spotting one. The Chamber already doing work. And Oski is left alone.
I gotta go.
15 HP. A stiff breeze will knock him over. Or a headhunter bullet. A great start for Crew.
A stiff breeze. How about a kick to the face? Oh my god.
That was crazy. And it came after.
All right, let's see if the iPad. Hey, what's up, Mr.
Can we
Good
just say,
Green?
like, respect to Verso, though,
Welcome to
after
the
that,
TikTok.
still finding 2 kills,
We
'cause those
are
were the
watching
immediate trades. He had to reswing in the
VCT
wall.
America.
The
Yo, what a
second
shot
guy.
by Crew. We're watching
good work from him.
VCT Americas.
Finally,
I don't
Crew.
want to be the president of America.
Yeah.
And
say
think
smile, I say
could've
cheese.
gone in
Cartier, I say
with the
please.
pistol, but it was Shy
Income
getting
tax.
kills, getting
I
close
said,
to having that
Jesus,
over
I
body.
don't
Would you
want to be a
imagine
candidate
key
for
part of
Vietnam
why
or
they're running
Watergate.
Chamber
All I
offense.
want to do is. Anybody know the next line?
Really deep pressure again here. The double salvos to take control. They're grabbing the orb. I love the
This isn't
cloud out
working.
smoke. Something you used to see like an Asher recall. If you cloud that smoke out enough, you can just grab the orb from inside of it.
It's free orb every single round, especially when you have such good control over the map, because Crew, they have full Vise set up towards B. There was a trip in Art, and then the Chamber playing in Street too. So basically having these double senties allows you to really heavily fight over one side of the map while still maintaining perfect information over the rest against any funny business through mid.
That is where the funny business lies.
All right, let's see what this does.
Shy spots them. But the fact that they live is a dub.
I mean, still though, Crew have the bot connector spot cleared away. They've got Melzer up in main. Unless he drops to the fade, I don't see a world where Crew get forced away from this A side.
And now he knows that PXS is on the other side.
That's a lot of pressure on him though. He needs help.
What is happening?
He's got a little bit up, but
So many things are happening. Too many things are happening.
Across is going to make things
All right, I
notably
gotta
more
scan
difficult.
the screen here real
Verso playing
quick.
On the other side of the smoke, all of the flashes make this impossible, and it's Verso who falls first, but Melzer now striking. It's perfect.
Wow, great use of the flash from Kesnet right there, the double swing. I think a lot of teams would no pun intended, they would shy away after that first kill goes
Sure.
in the direction of 2Game. Crew actually kept going at it, which is the play. I think, you know, if 2G were to collect that gun,
This
get
app
in a
clip
post plan,
requires.
that is very dangerous.
Okay.
I love the continued aggression from Crew right here, really setting the pace of the game early.
And it's going to keep going. Shy has bought a round 3 operator. He is here to play, man.
No.
Like, forget the
Okay,
ultimate.
I'm not
He's
doing
set up
this.
down
There is a
below
way to
right
set it
now.
up wirelessly.
And what
I'm
they're gonna
kind of
try to
I'm
do
looking
is
at it
Kesnet's
right
gonna
now.
take the early angle, then teleport back, and
Oh,
then
what?
there's an op still
I'm looking at it
fighting on
right
an
now,
active
Archangel.
line.
The double TP agents.
There it is. Beautifully set up. Are they now? They know.
Oh my. That was
Oh,
a
that
tag.
hurt. 35 HP through the sign.
And I think we can expect more looks like that from Crew. More of these like bait to get Shy into a really aggressive line to be able to punish.
Yeah, but show me the op. If I'm 2G, I'm so thankful that didn't connect as a frag.
Yeah.
You know, now they know they have to take these angles very delicately.
And they've done a good job scaling into sites on the last map. Even that last round, dealing with the player in main, they lost it, but a lot of options to play with. They are going towards the Vi side though, so part of the plan of Cruz is having that op show over there and then force them into all this util.
That's not going to feel good. Slow them down. Thing is, they don't really know how much is on the other side of this threat. Prowler's going to connect onto Mizzino, push him back off that line for at least a little bit, and now the Salvos will join. But Mizzino somehow finds the tiniest of slivers between a rock and a hard place, and is still in a position to fight back.
Good shock from Adverso on the planter.
Yeah, that's certainly going to help the situation, and Shy's op rings again. And if it's not that, it's Outlaw. They've got a really good shot at converting his bonus. They're going to have to get through silence. One big box left to be checked because Gobert, remember, he took so much damage at the beginning of the round, just 25 HP. Can they convert this bonus? I believe they can.
Yes, they
great
did.
start
Yes,
for
they
Crew.
did.
This double senti is now in dangerous territory, Ender. Pistol bonus for Crew. I mean, we said they haven't had a good start. This is the best start possible.
Oh yeah, this is what you wanted, you know, back on Ascent. This is what it was supposed to look like for them. But here, having the 2 shocks come in, still making it happen on the Sova. And then like having Gobert be the last one alive. That's the dude that got wall banged by the op at the start of the round. So he's just paper waiting to be dealt with.
Again, a 5-0 start. First Shy on the chamber. We found value with the op in the previous round. Still has it here. I mean, this is a devastating start here if you're 2G. For as much promise as was shown, the fact that you took it 3 maps is just a nightmare of a start.
Yeah, and you see the Teo drone clearing out all of B right there. Look at the setup. They have
2G
the
having a
chamber
hard
playing
time,
the
baby,
boards,
having a
you
hard
know,
time.
Triple push main. Your TP's a way to bolster the B site.
Stuff,
Crew
they forced
are
the
actually
third map,
flying
but-
on this setup. What a
Yeah.
cool setup idea.
This to me seems like their default, right? Where it's a Chamber holding both angles in mid with a trip in his body, the Vi solo B, then an active look to A to farm those early orbs like you're talking about.
Drone out mid once the trip is broken. The whole thing is layered. It's crazy how many layers this round has for Crew.
And then the fact, too, that you fall back into these more passive lines after you've dealt with the main flashes for 2G even becomes harder to force the operator off the lines.
It's hard to believe that they haven't played this map since 2023. For all the preparation, all the cool ideas that they have, the layers that they're showing on their defensive side, this is very well thought through.
Yeah, maybe 2G can phone up Giants and be like, hey, you got any pointers on how you're supposed to beat this team? Wouldn't really help. Completely different comps.
Nice timing on the salvos, but the wall is a problem. That's not even an uncommon wall. But 2G really feel like, it feels like they're flustered right now.
They are just kind of jamming it in here.
Plant the spike at this point with 10 seconds left on the clock.
They're just looking to do some damage, but I don't even think that's possible. The flash recharges and the triple swing is
Yo,
in.
what's up, Puzz?
Another fantastic round for Crew.
Welcome to the
E-Tron
channel.
is getting out
Welcome
of control.
to the channel.
I think one of the other amazing things about this comp is, like, usually, okay, if the Vise is setting up on B side basically every round, what do attacking teams do? Well, they take the Yoru down there, use the clone to break it away. Like, you can kind of just throw a smoke down bot mid and deal with a lot of that utility. But because there can always be a chamber popping up with the op, jump through a smoke, etc., it becomes way less simple to, like, take that space sort of lackadaisically without using any util.
Yeah, it's a lot more risky. It's a lot scarier of a proposition, yeah.
Yeah, an early timeout here for 2G. Azor, I can't expect that they were anticipating this.
Yo, what's up, Soft?
Right, coming out of Crew, seeing Shy with an op right now. You said you're phone in Giants. Giants be like, yeah.
My wife did my most recent clip on TikTok. If you'll see it,
Just break his util,
better
he's
than the
no
one I did
problem.
2 days ago. That is very similar to
playing
it.
Yoru, and Shy is going to be playing Chamber. Like, wait, what?
It's like, what? Kesna plays Yoru? Wait, Yoru's got a clone?
Now I'm trying to.
I thought it was footsteps.
I think one of the things we need to talk about here is the way, Ender, you mentioned it at the end of the round, or maybe it was Sean. Both of you are really smart. I don't know. Is the fact that their finances are set up so well. And specifically because, again, it seems like a large part of their defensive game plan is around getting Shy the op. So even if they do afford to lose him a couple of times, they can buy him up consistently because of how well this has gone.
Or he can just ult if he dies.
Yeah,
He gets a free one. He gets a free one that has a slow field, actually, if he dies. So, or gets one kill.
Shy is just set up really well to continue to cause problems for 2G.
And they're still doing this. Now, it's like a couple rounds ago, except this time with the Sova Dart as well, to feign this early aggro. Now 2G want to walk back.
Yo, what's up, Rai?
They probably
welcome to the TikTok.
To be set up over here. That's been the more common approach.
But look at how far back they have to drone from, and it's all because Kesnet took the space and then TP'd away. They have no idea he's gone, so they have to invest utility that you would be using on the side hit to clear out space that should be yours to begin with.
Yep, and you can see Adverso playing bottom street. He can hear everything B-Long right now. They also moved back the chamber trip, which was previously top street, actively changing their setups throughout this half.
What's up, Hayes? Welcome to the TikTok.
2G, although rotates have come in, Shy is looking back onto the angle.
Yo, double
and this is
misses.
what I mean. At this point, they're only at pillar. They're going to drop the Cosmic Divide. You have a couple of Astro Smokes through, but Kesnet's still here. Spam connects onto Askia, and they're going to try to brute force their way through this. PXS with his Nightfall.
Look at this, Adverso peeling off. He will definitely be popping this Hunter's Fury on. No one can hear the tap, though. They're on the other side of the wall. Oh, he'll actually probably use this Hunter's Fury for a backhaul clear.
He didn't plant?
Maybe a little bit of Varika. Tampazino has fallen. The wall goes down. The ult goes out. And Adverso going to PXS will succeed.
2G throwing. Finit, Hardliner. Welcome to the TikTok.
That spike up. They're going to have to frag their way through to create a little
If you
bit
have
of a
questions,
safety net, just enough
let me know.
to get to the hard part of the round. 2v2 now. If you're Crew, you're going to try to flood this out, make it as uncomfortable as possible. 1v1. Spike now grabbed. Oh, the ball connect! Still getting the spike down. A 1v1. Louise has been a hero for 2G. Melter on the other side. And he wins out the duel.
Come on, Louise.
Unbelievable that Crew are just winning a fifth here. It just keeps on rolling for them. Picks up the operator to toss back to Shy as well.
And I know they're running this double Senti comp. And I know this attack side will be very difficult for Crew, but You need.
I
some
did.
rounds to
I
work
fell
with
asleep
2G.
putting
You
the
can't
kids
be
to
going
sleep
into
and then
this
woke
next
up at
half
like
in 1-2 rounds.
11 or
Dude,
something like that.
Shy whiffed 3 times with the op, and they still
It was
won the
rough.
round.
Yeah.
It was rough.
That's brutal.
You couldn't ask for anything more if you're 2G.
Shy is. Crew is all vibes, and I mean, you say he missed 3 shots. I have to give him credit. He's had such good repositioning. He's not
Yeah.
typically an opper, but he's playing it like a top-level opper. He's giving himself outs left and right.
And now they're back into the default once again, so it's that fight over A main. Oh yeah, let's grab an orb, no problem. Maybe Crew are actually playing a little more
Got
aggressive
derailed
than
when some
usual, though.
people started
There's
cheating.
a lot of lean
People
towards
started
the
cheating?
set up. Askia procs the wall, and they just gotta get back. But again,
How?
like in A main, all the aggression is here. Keznet's playing them close. They had no idea. It's a slaughter, A main.
Wow, on the anti-eco as well. Going for that play is so unexpected.
It's that same play from the last anti-eco. Look at the setup. The Chambers holding Art, the 3-push main. Same exact play, beautiful. The difference here is that Yoru doesn't TP back because you can see Mizzino was playing up in that smoke. He was getting
Yeah, yeah.
the info.
Frost
He said,
got
"Don't
angry-
come."
angry and
It's
started
all
rage
fair.
hacking. How did he
Just
hack,
using the
though?
Clint to pop wall. He lets the Clint pop
Was
wall.
he doing, what do they call that?
Beautiful, man. Crew
Ghosting?
are playing so well on this defensive half.
I mean, they're playing the composition to perfection. They're getting everything they could possibly want. Money's still like crazy. They don't even have to pop Shy's ult yet.
But Doug, it's going to be okay for 2G. They've got the Yoru,
yeah?
they've got the Tejo. They just need to run an exec. Forget about getting opt, losing these main fights, whatever. Askia can get it all done with the drift.
You know, well, he's currently kept grounded. The dog out, the op is here, and they really have no way to know. That drone's gonna spud a little bit. I can't believe he checked that anyway.
I'm surprised we're going off the drone and waiting for the ult until now.
I gotta know. Ooh, Hatred, that's a pretty dark name, but welcome to the TikTok.
It pops all to live.
Is there any help for him? Shy's here. They're all here. Adverso may have just, excuse me, Askia may have just TP'd into his death.
By the way, Keznet's back in main now.
Askia had nowhere to go.
Dude, he's toast. He's
He thought
toast.
he was
What a
one being
bad spot,
aggressive,
bro.
but the reinforcements from the defense are perfectly timed.
It's suffocating.
Just when it seemed like they had a window, now Gobert's gonna have to deal with Kaznet himself. On the main flank. The gravity wall is gonna keep the defuse at bay for a little bit longer, but
You mentioned that Yoru ult, you mentioned the Teo ult. They're both gone. I am losing faith, Ender. I'm losing faith quick.
It is sapping away. Now you keep coping. You say, oh, Vise is coming up. It's going to be okay, guys. But again, that's a round you just shouldn't be possible to lose. And yet, Keznet's repositioned into main. All of a sudden, there's just way too much pressure going around on him.
LOL Keck. Welcome to the TikTok.
Yeah, I think Crew are feeling this game.
We
right
are
now.
watching
Second timeout is
2G
gonna come
get
out.
smoked by Crew.
On round 8.
Yeah. This will be the last time these boys get to talk to their coach.
I mean,
Just like me.
after the game, they get, oh.
Just like me, I think they're going to be losing faith after this round. Baystar, the coach.
I mean, I don't
No
know.
more Baystar.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
bro, I don't know how they get back into it.
Oh.
Well,
ults
yeah, how
are
about you come
gone.
out of retirement? How do they do it, John?
Man, the ults are gone. That's what's
Yeah,
making this so
that's the big
difficult
one.
right
Yep.
now. You know, I'm worried because Crew have bust out so many setups that they're just not prepared for, and they're changing what the weak side is, and it's
Every round.
very, very difficult to read because sometimes Crew aren't insta-aggressing, and it's hard to tell which site is stacked and which site isn't. You have to sniff out so much of this.
What did he get angry about, Maniac?
And it takes a long time to figure it out.
Here's what I want. I want 2G to start attacking into the middle of the map again, right? Like, so far the mid has been where it's been a bit weaker because of the early fights being over mains, and then you can maybe have better scouting to find out where the Senti util is going to be stacked up for the Vise.
But again, you can see the chamber trip has been moved all the way to the bottom of street. So if that early util from Teo is used to quote-unquote break it, oh, here we go.
It's the same look. Kesnet can take this aggro fight, TP away, and then Shy's here. They've seen this before.
Man.
They have one idea, but it's a great idea.
That's just very well played by Shy. Dodges the haunt, hops up, gets the kill. Even from Kesnet, hiding his head on the Yoru TP. It's a micro masterclass out here.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me still. I mean,
shame on you, Doug.
There's a lot of, a lot of the fight behind this attack side is still posted up towards B. Shy a little bit off.
All right, maybe we get a little bit of something here.
Smoke. The Haunt's not going to catch him, and then he's going to be able to get a couple
okay, all right, no, wait,
or at least
that's
attempt to.
A little bit too much, and good missiles to push the operator back. 2G can try to push in on him now.
Shy's going to wait on the other side of this wall. Danger here. Is there anything to flush him out?
Visol now too.
Oh, he goes into astral form. Shy is stuck.
Oh, bro.
The gun barrel gives him away, and now a fight ensues. Backside. Meltzer, as the wall goes down, the kills erupt.
Bruh.
Crew.
Do the thing where in pistol rounds
There's
we
just
did
no way that
1v1s
2G
in
get a
middle. In
moment
the
of
second
hope in
half,
that
the
round.
attacking team
Slam
cheated
two
against us by
ultimates
running
into
A-site
it,
and planting.
and then still end
So I
up
retaliated
losing.
by ghosting
It's so
the respawn.
reminiscent of the last B round.
As soon
and
as the
also
round
1v1.
started.
This B site has
All right,
ruined
all right.
the 2G so
I'm
far
assuming
this half.
Frost was not on your team.
And with that, we're chilling at 8-0. 2G don't need many rounds, but they need most of the remaining 4.
Yeah. I'm getting flashbacks to Lev Cloud9 on Ascent.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've been seeing so much double initiator, but we're quickly reminded how powerful some of the other doubles are. The double controller on Icebox from Crew, and now we get the double Senti.
Well, 2G, they're going to move back into B. This time blasting backside to try and scale forward. I think they're going to try and grab that last orb for PXS as well to use the Nightfall to scale up into the site. But still have to deal with the Vise Wall before managing that. And by the time that's down, there's going to be a Yoru. There's going to be a chamber already rotated in.
Shy has so much mid info right now.
surely they don't get cut off by this wall. They've seen it in this position before. They're not even falling behind it. One team.
All right, let's go. No, it was probably Frost's idea to go
and that's a
plant
person
A.
with the spike. If this fight goes, if this fight goes poorly, it's again going to be heart rate for
Bro.
2G. What? The spike's left on the other side of the wall. Now they're not in a
Man,
position
so
where they
Frost,
can easily scoop it up.
Frost ruined the vibe or what?
Right?
Yes! Crew can't do anything wrong!
No, that's tragic.
All of the stars aligning.
Dude, there's no way. Even when he's going in the last second of the smoke to grab the spike, he's getting spammed, he's getting shock darted. Spike is still down.
This is, I mean, honestly, this is what I expected on Icebox. This is what I expected on Ascent.
It's time to leave.
This is the crew that looks like
Time
the
to
best
go.
team in their group. This is the crew that looks like they're going to be contending for a spot in Toronto.
Couldn't have said it better. Yeah, I think this team is absolutely at the top of our region. I mean, they're right there with G2 right now, in my opinion. Adverso has done work to this team since joining. As someone that has kept a very
I need
close
to go
eye on
ask
Crew,
my wife something real
before this guy
quick.
joined the team, they lacked innovation, you know.
Yeah,
now when
they
I
did.
watch them, they're busting out all these new agents. They're in double Senti.
Oh,
I mean, three kills. Econ doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
We can't even get excited about it. It was a great 3K. It gets him slightly closer to this Visol. What an adjustment.
Yeah, 3K is nice, but that 2K from Masino's nicer.
Are you guys superstitious at all?
Yeah.
You are?
No.
Okay.
Why is that?
No,
Like
it
ghosts
doesn't
and
matter.
stuff?
No, it doesn't matter.
Why? What do you?
Doesn't matter. 2G back on this eco buy.
This is
It's really
kinda
weird. Double Guardian Stinger mess.
Man, you know it's rough when Teo has to blast sign
Yeah.
every round.
Yeah.
Bro, Shy, stop playing sign. That's what.
We're begging you.
Yeah, please.
They also use the Fade Haunt over on the B side as well while
Like they did
trying,
in the previous round, yeah.
while trying to scale A. It's a bit of a fake, and it's caused a couple of rotates to come in.
Oh, they're gonna get an Astro alone here at main.
Easy dodge.
But they don't have the guns, man.
He gets out.
And there's no threat of a split because you got Shy plating apart.
Yeah,
The
he switched up his spy every round. He's got all mid info again.
The rotates are always so quick from Crew to come into this site. Thorns will make it a little harder to flood out, but Melzer still holding on this angle, sees the shoulder. That's going to be the open.
I'm surprised they're investing in Verso's ult, but trying to deny some of that flood. Gobert grabs a weapon, stays alive. trying to dodge through all of that utility, but it's just buying time. Silence is the one who lights up the kill feed for now. Still at a deficit, still at a disadvantage. Still in a dreadful position. The need to convert ever so great. In the face of 2, still no comfort to plant the spike, and Gobert is left alone. A 1v3, and he cannot convert. That's 10 for Crew.
Even the timing of those swings there, they've got a player in dugout and Art swinging to fight the same guy off of Sova Ping. Like, come on.
Nah, who are these guys playing? Crew this year are crazy. The util on this team, I mean, even having a chamber in their comp where you would think, you know, there isn't a lot to deal with, not a lot of util. The way they're actively moving around these setups make it so hard for a new IGL like Louise.
You know what's crazy though? Is that Averso basically just has the kills of Shy and Kesnick combined. Like, as much as we're talking about the chamber and how those opening kills have been important, Averso's putting on a masterclass silently.
I mean, when you're up 10-0, there are a lot of things that, that are going well for you.
But he's also gotten like 2 or 3 shock dart kills, a couple of ult kills. His pings from the dart have been fantastic.
You're gonna give up some of this art space. You got a flash. Post it up, and Mizzino not too far off, but I imagine they're gonna try to play around side.
All I wanna do is buy. Hey, Renma. Wait, no, Ranma. Alexa.
They've seen the Vise util and
Or was that Ranmar and Alexa? Welcome to the TikTok.
Finally trying to play these slower rounds, but they're set up for that ace.
We are watching 2G get dismantled in the third map.
As soon as they tried putting that flash up, it got cleared, so they know A main is not
there. This
theirs.
flash is gonna be brutal.
And the ult didn't. I don't think the ult tagged anyone. So they're gonna be full guns on this retake attempt. Utility dumped into dugout. Haun's not connecting on anyone either. And they're gonna try to fight into main on the other side of this. Mizzino's there to greet him. 2 kills found.
Oh no!
And now they're the ones who can't fight back.
And that's a Vise ult that's gonna hit some people.
Oh, just the perfect response.
GG!
From 2G, Crew take main. It's too easy.
Yeah, well played by Mizzino, getting that
That
crossfire.
is
Smiling, laughing.
unfortunate.
Like, let me show you how to use this Vise ult. I'll show you how to get people with it. 11-0.
The reposition there from Mizzino is perfect. Dude, and again, the fact that the Vise ult was, or the Vise flash, excuse me, was cleared main should have been a massive alert that they cannot commit to that A split.
What's crazy is we've never seen 2G and VCT play a map 3.
No,
Oh, I remember that game.
But
Oh.
it's Jinx now.
That's
Wait.
early.
Wait though, EG won champs that year though.
Wait, hold on.
Wait a sec.
Is this the 2G winning
Wait,
champs
2G
arc?
also have G in their name.
Wait a second. Hold
You
up.
guys are full tinfoil hat here. I don't know that I can follow.
I found that copium thing that who was it? Wyatt was.
Oh, Wyatt was going deep on the cope.
Wyatt hooked it up.
One of us needs to be the voice of reason.
Yo, what's up,
Run down the
Mocha?
street.
Like, please fight us. Please. Please don't make us go into the setup.
But again, they're going to go into this, like, B hit without control over main. Shy's still going to be down long with the off.
Well out of range of his TP, but the fight against Gobert is going to be a massive one. Meanwhile, Askia continues to struggle.
He's out of the stun?
2.
Come on!
All the pressure alleviated. Kesnick getting another one backside, ultimately traded out, but just when you think there's a little room to breathe.
It feels like Crew has like 8 players.
It does feel that way.
think they do.
It feels like they have 8 players, and it feels like they're playing on one side. Like, the map feels so small right now if you're 2G.
The TPs are crazy. The rotates are always anticipating the moves 2G are making. You know, we were saying that 2G hadn't played a map 3 all year, and I still don't think they have.
Find you.
Okay. Okay. Jesus.
Does it count? I don't know.
I mean, he makes a compelling argument. I don't know that I can really argue with that. A flawless first half. A level of domination that we haven't seen in a really long time. The double Senzi combo has just made it for a miserable day for 2G.
When does USA
really
start?
sucked the air out of the room.
America. Oh wait, this is America.
2G
My bad. When does the next game start after
right
this?
now. chances of
7,
winning.
but it'll probably be sooner.
Tiny.
G2
But wait,
energy, not
Louise
bad,
has been
not bad.
really good on pistols.
On pistol rounds.
That's
and
true.
they need a pistol.
Okay, cook, Doug, cook.
And so maybe,
Bring me back in.
maybe they win the pistol.
Okay.
And then they win 12 rounds in a row.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then we go to OT.
Cook.
Okay.
And then we go to a break. So I stop lying to you guys. We'll see you guys shortly.
Oh.
Yo, what's up, Kerbo? Wow, that's a really long name. Kerbo. Wait, is it Kerbon Aliva Moftuna? Wait. Yeah, I have no idea. Yep, no idea.
Welcome back to map 3 between 2G and Crew.
I'm gonna check something real
Ender,
quick.
you were
Chat,
talking
I'm gonna
about
turn off the
how
camera
2G
real
were going to
quick.
put together this ridiculous
I might have
comeback.
software
What was
for
the- what
this
was the plan
camera.
there?
Well, I think during
I need to
timeout, all they
see.
really have to say is Douglaw and win 14 in a row, right?
I have no idea
Something
what
like
model
that.
this
I did read in that break the 12-0 curse.
camera is.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I think so.
I've heard of that.
I'm
just heard about it.
unfamiliar.
I just heard about it. I read about it actually on the screen.
Alright.
You're not
Yeah.
a knower?
I mean, you were
Never
talking
mind.
about how good their pistols are. Do you think 2G was going to ask Crew very
mind,
nicely to
bro.
only buy Ghosts and Sheriffs for the whole half?
Do you like all chat that and go, hey, you guys
Yeah,
want to?
yeah. Let's just
for the
run,
culture.
let's just run some pistols, you know?
Does the headhunter like break that though?
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, I
that's
mean, we
the-
saw that on the first
Hey, what's
pistol
up?
with Shy getting 3 kills with
Re
it.
surely that's
LOL.
the trump card.
I don't know. Re LOL Iraq.
Bro's got
Welcome
6
to the
bullets in that
TikTok.
thing.
Just creep.
If you have any questions, throw them at me.
There is a wall. There are thorns. There are a lot of members of 2G here. That's the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
You can tell what the idea.
Okay.
Wait.
One round at a time.
Boom, Shy.
Be nice now.
Please, Shy.
Why are we orb farming? You're up 12-0. There's not going to be another
Shy's such a smart player. This guy has no fun on Chamber. Why?
Do the little things right. They're going to double down on this A, aren't they? They still have the thorns. They're going to have to try to dance around the flashes there.
Wait, Shy has 2
No,
kills.
no, it's made it a
It's down to
2v2.
Shy with 3 kills on the round. The
Bruh,
Tigers just
Dino
take the 2 members remain are still rotating
Tuka!
over, and are they gonna
I don't know what that is, but welcome to the
This is
channel.
silly.
Your name
Bro,
has a lot of
she's
energy.
carrying around a trip.
30 seconds
Wait,
left.
the
2G
thing
are
is-
leading it.
Yeah,
Wait.
2G are ahead of this. And so they're trying to quietly rotate out back towards B, but the writing's on the walls.
What does it say, Doug?
It says that it's going to be a site hit B. Smokes through. Are they going to try to flood out on the other side of this? Shy
10
overcooks
seconds
out a little bit. Monster's left in 1v2. And I blame
All
production.
right.
I blame production for running the stat. It jinxed it.
I blame you guys for talking about it.
No,
I had
no,
no
no,
part
no,
in
no.
this. I had no part in
I
this.
don't, look, I didn't want to see it. What I do want to see, though, is Shy having Chamber hold second round right now and closing it out. This guy was orb farming. He was getting. Where is he at right now?
He's got
like
a lot.
2 orbs off or something? 3 orbs off?
3 orbs off. I saw for a second.
No, he's gonna.
He was considering getting an outlaw dished over to him. Changed his mind.
Would be a silly way to close the map, wouldn't it?
Please get 2 headhunter kills and grab an orb. It would be so funny. Please.
We've really kind of gone off the rails on this one.
Wait, whoa.
Aggression A. Kesnit's dead.
You know the best timeline? 2G win 10 more rounds in a row, and then lose round 24.
I don't know that I can handle that. I might lose it.
That would be incredibly sad, no?
That might trigger a Joker moment. I don't think I have that in me.
Clearly going crazy if that happens.
I mean, we could go OT if you'd rather.
I don't know that I like any of those options. A dumpy utility towards A, but they've managed to work their way out. Shy will fall.
Yo, he's gonna get a.
Keeping it interesting, at least for a little while.
Yo, they gave him a Guardian, bro.
That weapon disappeared. Nicely done from Louise. Nicely done from the rest of 2G.
Ooh.
And so there were 2.
Are you gonna keep counting that up each round?
I mean,
hey, they only have 10 more chances, guys.
Yeah. Can they get through this bonus? It's gonna be rough.
yeah. What's the gun situation here for 2G going into this bonus?
What's the 4 they carried over, but only 1
Guardian, Bulldog, Stinger.
A Vandal on Louise.
Yeah, they upgraded.
And full armor for everyone on crew.
Yeah. Good save calling that round call from crew, making sure everyone had full in this one.
Okay. That Atrastar over at B-Long.
A little bit here. Silence spamming into the smokes, not connecting yet. Boy, Kesnet
is cruising.
Yeah, he is running it down.
Man, that wall went up so fast. Gee, what?
I don't think 2G had their guns pulled out in time to try and spam that after a few shots.
Bro made deadlock. It looked like a deadlock wall, like pre-plays. Like, what? That was a Sage wall. What just happened?
And so now that wall's off the board, you have to invest a little bit more of your 2G as far as personnel goes towards protecting that site.
They're actually saying, screw that. leave Louise over on his own.
That drone gonna tag Adverso. It is cleared out, so you know there's at least something there.
Drone coming A main right now. The pinch coming in Art.
Silence is rotating back B.
Ooh, got the tag.
Ooh, that high angle dealt with by Gobert is nice. And there's a couple players doubled up towards dugout. You've got a player in Flowers too, and those side smokes allow 2G to stop this plant from ever really going down.
They're gonna rotate off. Where is Adverso headed?
He's gonna try and open up something towards Street and find a late round pivot, I think. Maybe not. There's not much time to work with.
No, I mean, if you're going to try to flip the map, you've got to do it here soon. Time's of the essence. But they're deciding to double down. Full investment towards A. No real option to do otherwise. The flash out, Melser trying to commit to getting a spike down will succeed. As the stuns now erupt, this might just be it. The icing on the cake, Louise and Askia. Left to try to continue the impossible, try to prolong this map. But they might just be one miracle too short. Louise pushing forward, getting
Wait.
What's going on? That's perfectly indicative of how this has gone. It falls down to a 1v1. Melser with 20 HP. Askia has struggled. 4 and 12, a tap of the spike. The gravity will through, but the spam connects.
Nice.
He's gonna get the defuse and
he's got
all right.
another.
Man, I missed that too.
They're stringing me along right now.
Had a busy couple days, but I missed Sentinels as well.
When do I buy in? Literally
Man.
the 100 Ps formula. They string me along, guys.
Me personally, I'm not buying in.
Yeah, I need to see a lot more happen before I believe.
Dude, what is he looking at?
That's
He's doing 360s out there, not a care in the world.
It has been one of those maps though, hasn't it? A 12-0 half. It's just silly. But they convert the bonus.
Did they look good doing it?
Where they should convert at least one more round.
Thanks.
I assure you, chat, Pearl is not the most defensive-sided map of all time.
I don't know.
It certainly does look that way.
It does look that way, though.
Crew haven't won an attacking round since 2023 on this map.
Is this the first time we see the Shy up? Or the Shy ult, excuse me.
We call that the shop, actually.
Yeah.
The Shult?
The shop. Shy up.
The Shy ult.
Okay.
Woo!
Well, we're not going to
Younger
see it
yes
anymore.
and of you, Doug. We're going to have to work on that for tomorrow.
Not going to see it anymore for this round.
Listen, if 2G even force overtime, they don't even have to win the game. If they force overtime,
yeah, you're right.
Oh dear.
On an eco, surely not on an eco, right?
Wait, I kind of like how Luis is playing this though.
They're going to try to flat out on the other side of this. Do you check the smoke?
No.
Yes, you do. You're spam back in exchange. 3v3, guns have been upgraded. Kesnet lit up and now dropped. Melser's going to have to 1v3 to convert this, and he cannot.
That was very
so
weird.
2G
Check
gets a
this on
4.
recent tweet when you get a chance. All right,
And
let's
Cruz
take a
should
look.
be able to respond.
Best
to
part was the
Bloodbrain.
trash talk.
Device.
Oh, I bet. Oh no, not Boostio.
No,
Why are
come
you
on.
looking at me that way?
All right, let's
Wait a
see.
second.
You could hear it in that statement. He's trying to get you to buy in. He's trying to get you to believe.
You're not tricking me.
No?
You're not tricking me. No, you're like that guy that's like, oh, come on, I got this crazy penny stock I need you to invest in. It's going to be so good. Look, right now, 2G, they only have 4 rounds. But in a map from now, 2G might be worth millions.
Bro, think about it. If you invest now, the payoff is going to be great.
Imagine investing right now.
Buy in while it's low. Buy.
I mean, hey, they've got 3 ults, guys.
Look, you even got a timeout out of crew. Coach Adam, he's getting frustrated. Actually, it doesn't look frustrated at all.
Yeah, what's he saying? Like, hey, guys, let's just win 1 round.
Boy, that is not the look of someone who's up 12-4 on map 3, is it?
He's just taking a nap real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just listening. I really love how active Coach Adam has been in these timeouts. You know, they have great IGLs on this team. Melser has IGL'd. Obviously, Adverso is the IGL of the team currently. They are cooking in the games. But during these timeouts, the floor is completely the coach's, and he's, you know, dissecting what's going wrong and has tons of new ideas for the team. I'm curious to see what the adjustments are going to be right now.
I mean, surely you can stumble your way into a round win, even if things go horribly, right?
I mean, possibly. Especially, I mean, look, Shy's got the operator in his hands on the attack side. First time minus that 1 ult round.
The shop.
Yeah, but the thing is, 2G have a lot of ults to work with. So generally, I like when teams play slower rounds against the big ults on the defensive side, try to play like lower numbers post-plant situations, so it's not quite as effective.
I wonder how many rounds so far this game Shy has had an op, because he had an op bonus last half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he ever
All
rifled
right,
last
got
half after
sidetracked.
the
Sentinels. Let's
he
go.
had a Marshall second. Literally had a scope gun like every round.
In case you missed how the game went. All right, hold
4
up.
rounds, no
Let
op.
me
The
ban this
speed run,
person
trying to
real
pop the
quick.
wall.
But the wall's not there.
It's interesting, the Xeno's in
Hey,
Arc
welcome to the
pretty quickly.
TikTok.
All
I
things
think your name
considered,
is
now
Russian,
support
and
behind
I
him.
cannot pronounce it. I apologize,
Maybe
but it
the
kind of looks like
adjustment of
Onbra.
trying to test the water in
If your name
mid,
is Onbra, welcome
pretty
to the
swinging
channel.
them,
Welcome to the
something like this,
TikTok.
but really trying to spread the map and see what intel 2G are going to hand them.
Oskia hearing the drone, clearing it out without getting any info. That's very nicely done. Meanwhile, Gobert
All
now
5
down
of
in the
you.
acceleration A. He's got to TP out of there as quickly as he can.
Dang, bro.
There's this wall a little deeper towards connector. If Crew can pop that, they'll be able to pull one of these players that's rotating. for
Kaplan
main.
has
Ooh,
officially
deep con.
defeated Potter.
You all right there?
Yeah, I'm good. I almost fell.
Yourself? You guys are.
Wait, I didn't see anything in this.
Doug's having a tougher time out of game than Crew's having in game.
Oh,
Back towards
it does
B,
look
here we
like
go.
he's giving you. It does look like he's giving the finger.
Got the Cosmic Divide, the stars go through, the Dark back sight, and then the Thorns on the other side. They have made it to where Silence
Go
cannot move.
ahead.
Ooh, but the Nightfall
Stand
smoke,
your
20 seconds
ground.
left.
Flash.
Silence might have been the trap himself. He and Askia left in a 2v3.
Oh!
Flash.
What a
very
play off of
well
each
done.
other.
Beautifully timed.
Oh,
He's gonna
let's
have
go.
to get another
Seconds left.
Yeah.
entire round.
Hey,
Silence does
I'm not kidding.
relent.
If 2G wins this, I'm gifting 50 subs to the community.
And I thought he was
50
in
subs to
trouble.
Free Advice Guy
Thorns
community.
on the other side, he had nowhere to go.
Do you hear
No,
this,
he was
2G?
chilling
If
with the
you
setup, Doug,
complete
because
this
he moved
comeback,
the wall,
I'm
right?
gifting
So
my entire
you can
community
see
50 subs.
Crew
It's
big
going
time.
down.
They
I might not
never
be able to pay
expected
my
double
mortgage,
thorn
but I'm
B
gifting
side.
50 subs.
They used the
Let's
clone
go.
Early. They realized the wall's mid. They're thinking this Vice setup is A. The double thorns are popped, and he is just holding it down.
Oh yeah. The support from his teammates insane there too, right? You have the sight smoke from Louise. You've got PXS trying to swing through the smoke, and you got flashes from Oskia on the rotation. It's all there to help him out.
That was actually sick.
I agree.
From 2G
I don't think they are. That's why it's
from Crew.
50 subs, baby.
Double face.
Still a lot of work to do.
The
This
meat
is an eco.
grinder.
Wait, how long has it been since Cruz won an attack round?
It's been 2 years, man.
Holy.
It's actually a year and a half because it was champs, but yeah, so don't get bogged down in the details.
Ooh.
2G get to 6. They've got a couple of ults. Silence has his ult. Gobert has his ult.
I'm not very good at math, Doug, but I think that's halfway. Roughly.
Imagine if they won a couple of those rounds in that first half. We would be singing a totally different tune.
Yeah, because you had like the 1v1 down on low HP. There were a lot of rounds that could have flipped their way, just didn't.
I mean, it's like you said earlier, the problem is that there's so many things Crew can do to just fluke out around, right? Like, there's just so many ways to just steal around with ults.
Talk about it, though. Keznet's got the Dimensional Drift and a Bucky in hand.
Just because they could spray or what? What caused it?
It's to teleport right behind someone and shoot them in the head with a shotgun.
The Zekin special.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is Cruz.
That's a jump scare. There are 2 here, so he's got to be cautious about it. This does not feel safe. The stun, and all of a sudden, the jump on the other side of the TP is not there anymore.
Early ulti out from Art.
Sliding back out.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
The only guy sticking on site with these ults. They're forcing them off the spike.
Look at Askia.
2G already on the defuse.
The Hunter Shuri invested. Adverso looking to land the shots. Splitting the uprights, not connecting. Gobert might go down. No, it is a second whiff. Gobert's going to get the defuse. He's body blocking, but it stops. Still at half. A 3v3 left for it. Adverso.
I called it. I said they were going to win this round. When the Yoru ulted early on, I knew it. That's crazy. How did that fold so fast?
Effort in that second half from 2G. I love the fact that they didn't quit on us there. It was a brutal third map, if we're being honest, right? Down 12-0, nothing going their way in that first half against the double Senti comp from Crew. Gotta give flowers to Crew, though. I mean, busting out this comp doesn't seem like a very Crew thing to do, historically.
Sure.
But they smell different this year, I'm not gonna lie.
They're a little stinky, but in a good way, you know, with the chamber peaks going up. All the play behind Sign I thought was really cool. How they mixed it up as well, you know, whether or not it was going to be those fake B main fights into the op there, or the really aggressive A main holds with the chamber more passive towards mid. I think it was really hard for 2G to ever get a comfortable read on what this team was doing round to round.
No, and I think you guys said it best. For as much as 2G gave us maybe the slightest glimmer of hope, it really did just fall apart at the end there, and they put themselves in a spot where you were talking about it in the first half, Sean. They need to win a couple to have a shot at it, but the hole they dug themselves was just so deep that there was no way out.
It really was. I have to give credit to Luis. He stepped in this IGL role. That was a hard half to call, right? Yeah. This is a learning experience for him. Every week he's probably going to learn new things. First, third map for 2G in the last, 5-6 matchups. So this is uncharted territory for them as a team. They're also the counters they have to deal with. I did mention they played Pearl previously. So Crew had some footage to work with on this third map. You have to wonder if that played a factor here.
It was,
they cooked.
They cooked. They cooked in a massive way. A 2-1 win for Crew as 2G fall just apart at the end. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
Human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo.
I want to know if the Secret Lab chairs are awesome. I forgot, Hyman Miller, I think is what Wiz turned me to here. But this chair is sick. Hyman Miller gaming one with Logitech on it. Hopefully Maniac doesn't have to witness his team. Oh man, I'm actually excited. G2 versus NRG. Woo, this could be good. Or it could be nothing. I predict finesse averages. I'm going to say 13 kills per game. You should have bought the Send bundle. Made a mistake.
Welcome everyone to the Verizon post-match interview, and I'm
I
here
bought
with
the Send bundle
winner
last year
from
because of
Groovies
Celsius.
at Mizzino. Also here with Dan to help out with some translations, or Dan
True.
Giant, excuse me. The first thing I want to ask you, what was it like playing in here, in this new space that you haven't played in before?
Bueno, realmente no es gran diferencia, pero tiene ciertos puntos que sí se nota mucho, porque obviamente el público, las luces que igual provocan un poquito de problemas, pero uno se adapta a todo y da lo mejor en todos los sentidos.
It's not that big of a difference, but there's definitely some things here and there. Like, for example, the audience is a big part, and the lights like give us a little bit of trouble, but we just have to adapt to whatever we have.
Amazing. First thing, going into the game, I want to talk to you about the Ascent. I talked to Adam, and he said he was happy to play the Ascent. You know, you weren't sure if they were going to pick it. Good to get reps in. You didn't get a single round on defense. So talk to me about your takeaways from Ascent. And also the comp, because you played Deadlock this time. We're usually kind of seeing you on a comfy initiator. So talk to me about that.
Bueno, igual el año pasado yo jugué Deadlock en Ascent también, en ese mismo mapa. Y yo siento que nos faltó mucho sacar muchas más rondas en defensa, que eso lo tenemos que revisar. Y hay que meterle trabajo al mapa más que nada.
I also played Deadlock on Ascent last year, but we definitely needed more rounds in the defense, and that's one of the things that we need to work on and improve on.
What do you think you need to specifically improve on to get more rounds on defense?
Yo creo que más que nada en hacer cosas juntos, en reaccionar a los dominios que nos están haciendo, que nos rompen cosas. Más que nada como reaccionar más rápido.
To play together more and be able to react a lot faster to the things that the other team is doing.
The next thing I want to ask you is in terms of the Pearl. We get to the Pearl. We're thinking it's going to be a 13-0. We're like, oh, okay, we're ready to go. And I'm sitting out there with G2 and NRG, and then 2Gs keep getting round after round. Talk to me, what happened in that game?
Yo creo que en ese ataque los de 2G estaban sacando buenas rondas. Obviamente son buenos jugadores, no se les puede subestimar. Estaban sacando buenas rondas y nosotros estábamos sabiendo que hacíamos las cosas bien hasta el punto final, que es donde fallamos, pero lo terminamos cerrando, así que bien.
For 2G, I feel like they were playing good rounds, and they're you cannot underestimate them. They are really good players, but it just came until the very end, the last few details on those rounds that we just couldn't maybe close out, but we closed it out at the end, so it's fine.
You did it, and you won. Congratulations, Mizzino. I'd say, can NRG and G2 clap for Mizzino? They're not.
No, they don't like me. They don't like me.
They left it. We're gonna have a next game, and that is NRG versus G2.
Playing versus old teammates is always fun. You see little tendencies and obviously some new things that they've picked up on, maybe on their new teams.
I'm ready to play Yoru against him because I think Yoru different. I'm kind of excited to see his Yoru.
And he is taking a timing. All of a sudden, you see players running away from B. They think they'll rotate this year. Now, pushing into it. The flash going to connect. Rafa falls.
He taught me like the beginning of the ropes of Yoru, but now I'm applying whatever he taught me before, without him knowing that he taught me.
Jaws he's very loose. I think that team has enabled him also to be, just himself. And he just plays how you think Jaw would.
So Jorgen was able to find the shot, and Trent's happy to play it with the Sheriff. Berno and Artisan get their hands dirty though. This is getting ugly for Jorg's fan. Yet another one of the shorty will put Shenum to bed.
Let's see who's the best Yoru, Ethan.
Welcome back to VCT Americas, and our second match on this Saturday is going to be G2 versus NRG. I'm Uber, here in the lounge with, unfortunately, Babyman Vansili and special guest Adverso. Welcome to the show, man.
Let's go, man. We got the claps from Mizzino, right?
Yeah, exactly. We got the claps for the whole crew.
Yeah.
Where's my 13-0? What happened to that dream?
The pressure.
Dude. Wait, what pressure was there? You're winning 12-0.
Because you want to win.
Okay, I see. No, it was a pretty good game that you guys had, actually, and I actually wanted to ask you, like, what was the game plan going into that third map, because we haven't really seen what 2G could really bring here.
Well, we never play
Your
Pearl.
club either, yeah.
Yeah, we never play Pearl City America, so we train a lot to improve the game. But I think we played double Sentinel, is so strong in defense, so we got a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome. What was the inspiration to put Shy on Chamber? Because it's been a while, man. Like
he likes a lot. I think Chamber is a really good pick now. So Chai, he wants to play up. So we don't have a comp on Pearl, and we put 2 Sentinels, and it was good. So.
Hey, looks really, really good. I mean, you got off to such a great lead. I mean, coming up, we've got a bit of a classic IGL battle, something you know all too much about. Evanes and Valen will face off once again, and last time the Young Jedi had the high ground. Yeah, I mean, Valen's obviously looked pretty insane here, and you know, we're still waiting to see a little bit of.
All right, nothing crazy, but my TikTok has 95 views on it. Let's go.
Who do you think's gonna have the upper edge here?
Let's
the new
go.
guy on the block, or you know, the tied and true, the old man,
the old dog,
the old dog.
I can't wait. I'm about to record a bunch of different commercials for Free Advice Guy. They're gonna be different, more energy. Actually, Soft, I don't know if you're still here. Maniac, I know you don't have TikTok, but I want to post more videos with the energy and the type of the TikToks that I posted today and I think 3 days ago.
That's all well and good, but I think as far
Just
as
wondering what your thoughts were,
Soft. They're a little off pace in terms of what this G2 team are setting up. Let's hear what Valen had to say to Elizabeth ahead of today's matchup.
Now, Valen, in your post-match interview last week, you said, you know, you're looking forward to playing Finesse, but you know how it ends. I need you to be specific, use your words, tell me how it's going to go and exactly how it's going to end. To the T, Valen.
I woke up feeling pretty confident today, so the words are, I got the best players in the world on my team, so it's going to be easy 2-0.
All right, best of luck.
Just walks away. All good.
Jeez, that's terrifying.
All right.
What are we doing?
Goober.
What are we doing?
So much confidence.
He's staring at you now, bro.
He got the confidence.
Gubernatorial. Ready to blast your stream? Man, these insult messages are just nice.
Status as the team to beat in Americas after taking down Aspas.
They're just nice.
What ended up being like a bit of a drawn-out brawl. We kind of got to see the best of both teams at times, but I mean, you know, G2 were just a cut above.
It was just a crazy series where actually both teams were amazing on the macro. You had players that really had to step up to the plate, and you actually had a 3-map series that actually brought it to the distance. Quite honestly, for me, I believe that this, no offense here, but
Logitech,
the top 2 teams to try to beat here going into the stage. So how do you actually combat that as an IGL, knowing the form that MIBR and G2 has brought here so far, Adverso?
Well, I think
Logitech.
Which team is more improving
In case
himself, I think
the internet knows how to hack, I'm not going to say what kind.
G2 changed the composition on Pearl, so they are improving. They put Whale and Assassin too, so I think that's the matter.
That's a good question, or a good thing that I want to pivot on, because you're mentioning how they were changing composition and whatnot, and you guys have as well, for example, against 2G.
Yo, my microphone's a $120 microphone.
Also wanted to show to the world that you play a 7
Hey, your stream is
so how
butt.
is that for you?
Would you like to make it less butt?
About all these new layers
Come pay me money, butt streamer.
Well, we work a lot with the staff, so
not cool. Not cool, chatbot. Wait, Soft, did you hear my question?
We have a really good map in the week. We are so much confident in that map, so I think that's it.
Awesome.
Let's drill down a little bit on some of the individuals in game, because Jorgamo was so good on Waylay that he needs to issue a formal apology to everyone in ranked that gets stuck with bottom frag and copper caps. I heard you threw Nature's Game the other day, bro. Was that on Waylay or not?
No, believe it or not, it was on the Yoru. I mean, might as well have been the Waylay, though, with the way I was playing it. I mean, just TPing in like a bot. But anyways, this guy is not a bot, and that's for certain. Is there any chance we're ever going to see some Kesnet Waylay action, or maybe you guys aren't cooking that far?
I hope so. I really want to play Waylay, but it depends, you know?
Yeah. What's her strengths and weaknesses, actually? Because, again, we've seen the Waylay come into the fray, and a lot of players or a lot of the fans are like, okay, Oxy could play him. We see Aspas potentially could play her, and then now Kesnet was also in the conversation. What is missing from Waylay that doesn't click for you guys to want to pick her right away?
I think we need. I think Kenny need more time to play Waylay, so he got more confident to play Waylay.
He just picked up the Aura recently, right?
It's a really good improve. So
One
because
step closer.
he only was playing Raze and Reyna and Jet, so
Makes sense.
we want to play Yoru. But I think the most important thing is to play Waylay. He has to have a good super, you know.
So my TikToks, the TikTok I posted today and the one I posted, I think not yesterday, but the day before that, where I'm like recording myself with a tablet. I'm considering making more content like that.
Because they got a much needed win against
What are your
Furia
thoughts?
back in week 2, but they're gonna have to
It's got
really
more
dig
energy.
if they have any dreams
I'll
of
obviously have more
making
like
it to playoff fight.
subjects
This
involved,
team
but
also has felt like a bit of a revolving door at times. Like obviously, like they started out with Verno, that didn't work out. We're chopping and changing. We're retooling this roster, right? Like Marta's coming in here, of course. Bonkar, yeah, that was you know, a factor there as well. What's our initial impression of this team? Because Som was a standout, but outside of that, like, where do we place a team like this?
I mean, with Brock coming in, it was a little bit of a slow start on that second week, but ever since going into last week, holy crap, it's back to the Brocktagon that we know that he could do here in Tier 2. I mean, I don't know if you actually played against them going into when you were playing with All Knights in Challengers, but Brock and Mata are crazy players.
I train against Shopify Rebel.
Yes.
Small Shopify.
Yeah.
He's a really good player.
Yeah.
I really like how he plays Initiator. When he plays Soba, was a really good player. So I think he improved a lot on energy. We train a lot too in the scrims. So we see the team is improving.
One up, one plus one for energy here.
Yeah, definitely.
Scrim bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, again, I think it like doesn't take away from the fact that like Baby Bay NRG probably need to make some big steps forward. Even on top of that, if they want to be like a playoff team. Remember, it's only top 4 that make it through, and even then, like you want to be, you know, try and get those good matchups early with good seeding.
I liked what I saw out of that matchup against Furia because I saw them fix a lot of the gaps that they had. Even Mata switching over to the
Yeah, you can try that. Doesn't hurt to experiment. See who does better.
And the Yoru combined just wasn't really hitting the same. I would say. But I do think that this is going to be such a tough test. I mean, now is when we're going to see the true state of NRG. Are they going to actually be a top 4 team like everybody was predicting them to be when they had Verno? Or are they going to be kind of struggling in this stage 1 at least until they can get their bearings? I think it's a good test.
This NRG team is like traditionally really hard to get insights from. They really keep to themselves. They're not overly expressive, but we did have a chance to catch up with FNS, or rather Elizabeth did. So let's see what she was able to tease out of the seasoned IGL.
Now, Finesse Valen said in his post-match interview last week that he's really looking forward to playing you, has been looking for it for a long time. What's your read on Valen as a caller and how this game's going to go?
FNS,
they're
let's
very
go.
fundamentally sound. I think they have a really good understanding of the game and how they want to play. And they don't really stray from that too much. Like, regardless of whether they're up, they're down, doesn't matter. They kind of stick to their game plan and they adapt really well. So I think that's their strength in comparison to other teams. I think other teams struggle to adapt, especially in this meta. I think they're probably the best at it. So, yeah.
Best luck today.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at FNS.
I mean, is that true? I mean,
What's a great sound effect.
FNS says a lot of teams
so wrong.
struggle to adapt in this meta. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think I'm great with that because I work a lot of myself, you know. So I think the most important thing on Valorant, because I play like 5 years, is improve every day, you know. Every day train new stats, every day playing new agents, make new micros plays. I think that's the most important thing.
And I just want to ask you, have you actually started picking up the IGL role more when you went back into Tier 2 with All Knights?
Yeah.
How much of how hard was it for you to get the reins and be comfortable as an IGL?
And control Dante Deus on that team.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Well, it was complicated because my first series was on Zero Nation in Brazil, and I don't have a good result there, so it was so hard for me. But when I joined on All Night, they give me so much confidence. I get a lot of experience there, so I improve myself to be better in Tier 1. So
awesome.
That's the most important thing, and I know the guys.
No, I just want to download the software for my camera.
So much hard
How do I do this?
with them, but I'm really happy.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of someone who was like a fixture of this team last year, where we saw NRG make this huge retool, right, was Som, and Finesse's BFF has been fragging out in stage 1. This guy also was a standout last year when we saw this new look NRG team in general. Som really seems to have it all as a controller player that's having high impact, Baby Bay, on so many of these matches.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of the games where NRG, specifically this Lotus, it's that meme, no help. You know, like LeBron, no help, man. I mean, the poor guy. Like literally somebody help him out, and NRG, you know, they got it together in the following maps. But yeah, he's always been a standout player individually. He's been grinding. It's so funny because in a bit of, you know, the I don't want to call it off season, but the time in between kickoff and stage 1, I was memeing with him like, hey bro, you're pretty nice with the Phantom, man. And I was like planting a seed in his brain, and now I'm seeing him actually play with the Phantom like every day.
And Uber, you talked about the revolving door on the rosters here of NRG, and I feel like right now with Mata and Brock joining, now Som will have some help. And again, we've been seeing those results in that week 2 going into this week. I think this is going to be a very good series going into G2.
We're going to talk about the ungentle giant himself here, because obviously, you know, Guy, he is tall. Thank you, production.
Yeah, he's really tall. He is really tall.
I did not expect it, because he doesn't look like an imposing figure necessarily on pitches until you see him like stood next to the rest of his team. But again, this guy obviously did have the time and challenges like on MXS, like he was able to show up on here, and another player who debuts rather seamlessly on a team that really needs a big boost in firepower, and it feels like it was just what they needed.
Yeah, and Jaw was saying, hey, he likes
much
to
as
play
Evanes gets memed on,
it
is true that if he could shoot back the hit, dude, imagine if he was a fragger. Yeah, if FNS was a fragger, NRG would be tough, would be super tough, bro.
In the VCTs, on the big stage.
Chili Chica.
Was, like, the kickoff numbers were insane for Mata too.
With losses, he was like 1-4, and like one of the highest KDs I've seen. Crazy. Plus 46, probably even higher now.
He doesn't feel pressure, I think.
Chica, are you a bot? It's okay, you could tell me.
That's why I feel about. He plays on tier 2. I played against him in kickoff.
Yeah.
And he was with a lot of confidence playing. So I think that's the most important thing, because the confidence in the stage is so much important.
Yeah.
Most when you are a new player in the VCT.
Yeah. Let me ask you a follow-up question to that. What was like some recipes for success for you shutting down Mata, because you guys beat them in kickoff? Like that G2 needs to like emulate in order to make sure he doesn't get going.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to cancel him, you know? You have to use a lot of utility and to take the info where is Mata playing, so you can make a good exec there. I think that's the key.
Yeah, and sorry, I was going to say too, maybe to try to shut him down is also the people around him too, because if you actually look at how NRG sets up Mata, you need to have Ethan alive, you need to have Brock alive. If you're taking one of that piece of utility out that is needed, he's going to be useless.
Is that something you think about going into a game, this idea of shutting down a star player on the enemy team as an IGL? Like, are you developing a plan, or is it just like good fundamentals and like pressuring them off you know, op lines with util that you go for instead, something more general maybe?
Well, I feel when he plays operators, that's difficult, you know.
Wait, who's trustworthy?
A good operator is difficult, so if he has economy to play operator, we have to have a new plan to play against him. But if he plays rifle, I think it's more easy to play the game, you know, the macro game.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key.
Now, I've got a short delay on stage as our teams are getting settled there in the cage, as we're going to call it. But we have a chance here to touch back on the later edition for NRG, right? Because obviously Brock is an even more recent look for this team. And again, seems to be fitting in really well. Got that synergy with Mata, got that background in Tier 2. By the way, Tier 2 is just showing incredible players across all of Americas this year. This guy was no exception. The Brock's Gone meme, it exists for a reason, right? The idea that this guy would basically take over those clutch scenarios and be, you know, virtually unkillable in them.
It does not feel good being at the other end of that. I mean, I felt it. This guy 1v4'd my team when I was decent, you know? Like, it is not a good feeling. When he gets that clutch for his team, it fires up players like Mata, who was his teammate before. And I think that synergy coming in was a bit of a seamless switch, which is really good for this team considering the firepower they lost in Verno, man.
Exactly, especially when you look at their decision for energy from a GME aspect. When they brought in Verno, they actually had to bring somebody else that, you know, could make him feel comfortable going into their team, so they brought in Bonkar as the coach. But now this time around, you have two MXS players finally joining together once again to make each other feel comfortable, especially when Brock is able to set up Mata. So you have that experience, and that's going to help.
Have the synergy there.
It actually says about how incredibly competitive Challenges was, where neither Oxygen or MXS were actually at Ascension, right? Just got a completely wild storyline in the end. Now, usually we're going to go across to the other side of things because we haven't mentioned G2 in a moment, but Leaf is the kind of player that loves to get on a lurk, right? See him in a lot of those solo situations towards the end of the round. But we turned the tables on him and went into his socials for a look at his post history.
Hey guys, G2 Leaf here. Today I'm going to be looking back on some old posts. It's a picture of me with Zellsis' cat, Momo. Very cute cat. It's captioned, "I'm stealing your cat." That's because, I'm going to steal his cat. He lost in kickoff to me, so, it's only fair. That was the prize. No one really cared about the trophy at all. It's really about the cat, so I think he said he's going to kill me if I steal his cat. So that kind of scared me, but I don't think he'd do that. Maybe he meant in game. It's a tweet about when the guard won Ascension, and it's a little tragic at the end. Can't wait to play against you guys in the big leagues. I never really got to do that. Unforeseen circumstances there, but they did deserve it at the time. They still deserve it now, as my teammates and stuff like that. And it's good to see that literally every single one of them are still in the league. Tex is obviously on Lev, and that's on C9. So, and he was on G2 with me at the beginning too. So, I was proud of them then, and I'm proud of them now. G2 Leaf, that was some post nostalgia. Looking back on the olden days, and kind of recently, about stealing the cat. So, appreciate you guys watching.
I'm all for this holding players accountable for their tweets. If only they did that with certain members of the broadcast team, I'd be so. And also their predictions, you know what I mean? That would be.
I can't remember. Are you gonna break that? Are you that angry?
No. This is the cat. I'm keeping this here. I hope everybody is submitting, by the way, their artworks for us to decorate this scene, because we've got plenty more frames where that came from. Leaf, is S tier, impeccable aim, and he'll just randomly show up on the desk sometimes to give analysis as well. But this is a guy we've got to be looking out for in this series, right? He's a player that feels like can be, I guess, deterministic of G2 successes or their stumbles sometimes.
Well, especially in this meta, though, because it's going to be this head-to-head with the way that Sentinels are playing now. You take a lot more of these 50-50 engagements when, the core of the team and everybody with utility is taking space at one side. Leaf on G2 is going to be taking B main on Ascent by himself, doesn't need any help, takes the one he wants, much like Shy.
Adversa, how much freedom do you give to Shy actually in those moments? Because we were actually praising the time that Leaf is able to get here to allow G2 to win some rounds when he's cutting these rotations. So do you micromanage Shy a lot, or do you let him do whatever he needs to do?
No. Shy talks a lot in the game.
Okay.
I know him because I know him because we brought him on Leviathan in 2022. Yeah. And he was a really communicative player. So you don't have to micromanage him. So he has a lot of reactions in the game. And Leaf too. He's a really good player. I think he punishes a lot the mistakes from others. I think that's the work. And he plays a lot with Olo. I think that he's a really good Olo player.
Awesome. Adversa, thanks so much for your time. It's great to pick your brain a little bit, man. And congratulations on the win, of course. We'll see you soon. And, of course, we'll see you folks soon as well, because Map 1 of this series is coming up in just a minute. We've got Bren, Sideshow, and Mimi Gaming on the mic. So
Nothing's going to go wrong. Nothing's going to go wrong.
It's all going to go great.
It's going to be a banger.
See you after this.
Flat shot guaranteed.
welcome back everybody to VCT Americas. Yeah, quick little hot swap of the casters, of the talent, moving in and out as well. No disinfected on the microphones, I don't think. Hopefully there's no plays going around. I don't know where I'm going with this one.
That's an interesting way to start.
It is an interesting way to start as well. I don't know why I'm looking at my notebook as well. This isn't going to be how many answers.
Read?
Can I read?
Please.
Do you want me to read to you?
Yeah, you can recite something.
Tell me the story of G2 NRG
okay,
today.
well, the first line is a spoiler for the map pick bans.
Okay.
Right, well,
so
maybe.
I don't think I will
we have that coming up soon. Maybe wait for that one.
We're about to go into that, I think.
I don't think I will say that.
Yeah, there's plenty of history here, though, to tap into. I mean, obviously, the big story that I think that Des was talking about, too, is just the clash of the IGLs. God, I don't feel like it's reasonable to call it a changing of the guard type game, and you got to pardon me on the pun for that one, too. But
no one else was thinking it until you mentioned it explicitly.
Well, it was too good, you know. But, you know, Finesse, he's been one of those callers that we've always looked for throughout 2021, 2022, and beyond as one of the best. And now, I think in the last 2 years, you've got to say Valen's been the best caller in North America.
Yeah, I would say the guard was changed like 2024 when G2 had their breakout year, had their performance at Shanghai, but this year was sold as the redemption for Finesse. NRG, again, a team that was expected to win trophies, to kind of reach that optic level again.
Responding to Twitter things right now. I should probably tell people what I'm doing.
We're going into
I don't know that anybody cares, but somebody said, I feel bad for those that were planning on retiring in a few months. I'm replying. A drop like this shouldn't affect anyone heading into retirement if they were properly allocated.
It is quite a late thing to say you've lost at the draft, but
everyone should have an allocation that they are comfortable with. It should be based on time horizon and risk tolerance.
The last time that G2 lost on Lotus was in July of 2024.
Okay.
And this year they're on a 7-map win streak on Lotus. Undefeated, beat T1 13-5 at Bangkok.
And I don't have better news because the last performance for NRG, they lost to Furia.
I mean, that's you're saying that on mad disrespect on Furia. G2 got pushed a little bit on this map by Furia too.
Still.
No, it's not. No, it's
I would
not
say
good.
Furia G2 maybe a little different level of team. We're in the Agent Select.
Yeah, we are. We're in the Agent Select. I mean, in terms of this as well, though, I think if you're NRG, I'm going to paint you a picture here for this NRG squad. They've been playing catch-up. They've swapped out a couple of the core pieces in terms of the coach. They've got a new player in as well, in terms of Brock coming in. And so you're playing catch-up to every other team. You're up against G2, currently probably the best team in America, some might say.
Yeah.
And definitely putting up the numbers to prove that. You need a curveball. You need a risk to take at some point. Is it here in the map draft? Do you think that's why they're going in? They've got something that they've seen in G2's playing Lotus. It's a hard ask, Josh. You're frowning and scowling at me.
Well, because, okay, I can
All
see
right,
where
we're
you're
blind to
coming
one
from,
here.
and
This
I
one's
do
going to be
think
good.
There's a huge amount of data. If you want the tape advantage, if you want to talk about what Finesse is normally great at, it's coming up with good anti-strats after he's got a huge amount of tape on a team. And there is massive amounts of tape. And G2 have changed their composition recently on Pearl, but they haven't changed their comp on Lotus. You kind of know what they're going to do. But also, you're going into a map that they were 7-0 on this year.
Yeah, they are 7-0.
It kind of feels like, you know, when you see the guy at the roulette table and you're like, oh God, and he's like, no, it's due. It's due.
One's the big one.
Red is due, I swear.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, mate.
99 quid.
All right, suddenly a $100 dividend payment isn't nearly as exciting after your portfolio loses $50,000 in 2 days. If you're reinvesting, you're buying the dip. Be excited. Have a long-term focus and realize the beautiful opportunity the market is putting in front of you.
Seen it. There's a
Bro.
little contestation going on. Jorgamo obviously can be the piece of bait at the end of the stick here. He's got his gate crash sitting nice and pretty. So G2 are just trying to put up a couple of walls, I think, make it a bit harder to take that mound control.
NRG is a team that always plays really slow when they're on the attack side of this map, but they like getting Finesse embedded in a different place, oftentimes going for these lurk up B into A. But I think what G2 do really well with their Yoru comp is showing early looks where they're fighting a piece of the map, then having Jaw TP back and going for this mid-round re-aggression. It makes a slow style a little tough as NRG go for their own reclear on mounds here.
And it looks like they're getting set up to go for a CXX, although NRG with a minute on the clock, normally pretty happy to pump the brakes at spots like this. You saw that Jorgamo tapped the door right before he teleported out, but that didn't really threaten too much because Finesse was watching it, and now Finesse regroups and does look like we're going to end C.
Valen with the paranoia ready to go here.
Yeah, Held has a nade at his back, that's why he's going to have to shift the position and move off to the side already. Entry's coming through, so fault line back through main as well. It's slowed NRG down to a crawl for now. G2 are perfectly happy to try and play the retake into this.
Very slow, very
refight. Oh wait, this could be explosive right now. They want to try and fight this one! Straight into the maw, G2! Man, they like stacked him up and knocked him down again. And already revealed close quarters into the pillar. That's going to be Finesse, not long for this. Whoa, the Jogamo just cleaning them all up.
The ultimate jaw round to start this game. When you're talking about a changing of the guard, Jojimo is that player.
Jojimo.
A
Is it
world
Jojimo?
champion has been finding his form even better than in kickoff, then at Bangkok thus far in this first stage, and no one better than him to win that pistol round for G2.
Gets G2 off onto the right foot, not exactly what NRG were looking for there. I feel like the opening skirmish was pretty good. They get in onto the C site and even trying to go for the walk up to the smokes to see if they could manufacture themselves a pick before the retake was coming through. But the game plan didn't quite work there. And now it's going to be probably round 3 before we get to see what NRG are
Ooh, all right. I just saw a new idea for videos. Make a promise, deliver. It doesn't even matter what the promise is. You just have to deliver.
I think, of NRG playing Lotus. And so this should be a little slower on the attack side, I think.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit tougher to actually contest for that like early rubble fight, the early mound fight when you're trying to beat the
made note of that, baby.
Utility when
On
you see
attack
these
side,
Teo comes, yeah.
On defense, arguably it makes it a little easier, I would say. With the
Sure, having like the nade, a couple extra pieces of util to actually win that fight as well.
But you know how G2 are going to
I just realized who you were talking about, Maniac. You're talking about the guy we banned.
Critical. Once it's up,
Right.
they can decide to refight over it.
Trustworthy
It's often
something
gonna
or
be
other.
Trent and Jonah P that are taking control of B. I'm wondering if NRG have got a couple of plays to try to jump onto Trent or Jonah in these like first 30 seconds of a round.
Jonah is yet to use his stun. He does a really good job of keeping that tool online for these later rounds. Leave caught off, but just goes 1 for 1 the ghost.
Yeah, dropped out there towards the side as well. We're going to see Jorg is immediately supplementing the defense ever so slightly, but the slow play of NRG is working in their favor to a degree, but they're going to be meeting. Open arms to Trent, it's close quarters now with a stinger in hand. Strikes back, a lot of damage done, softening up these NRG players. Not much you can really do into this one. You're just going to be stepping straight into a trap that's been primed and ready over towards B. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You're just going to scurry away and see what else you can get.
I mean, give the kills to Jorg too. He gets his ult online. That's about the only player that it would have been bad to feed those final 2 kills to. And G2 are now in a spot where they can even play retake on a site and feel pretty comfortable with Dimensional Drift in their back pocket. So what Jorg was able to do on the pistol round playing retake.
Yeah, earlier in this round, NRG had a lurk up towards B, but they wanted to call back into it, commit to this A hit, but in doing so, allow just one guy in an off angle to completely stall them out there. They will have the guns now, so I think a better look at any changes they want to make playing with this Raze instead of the Neon here.
This is where we see the strategy come out from NRG, I'm telling you. This is what it was all about. Where did that happen?
Finesse?
That was B main.
I mean, he's just running down Diff and Valen in the 1v1. Didn't expect to see that.
I've always said Finesse is the better frag in IGL. I've always said that.
I've
He
heard
might
that
have
from
always
him.
been wrong. That's an insane statement to make. But this is good by G2, a bit of calm re-exploration. They're going to contact up through as well. Might be able to catch cheeky pick off onto Finesse, who is still holding it down.
Josh, if Finesse is the better frag in IGL, here's his chance to show it.
Jorg is not going to clear this.
Oh, Jorg just snaps to the side. I mean, 90 degrees, he just cleans him all the way up, and here's that ult that's been built up prior. Quick exchange of the weapons, and now we're going to see it. Dimensional Drift. See what info we can get on top of all of it. It's going to be that fault line. You can see it. Jonah P's waiting for it like a heat-sickened missile. He's looking for the right target. Popped it in through the back of the site. Vulnerable up, stunned up. Not a chance in hell for Ethan. The rest of his team, NRG, have got a decent foothold for now, though, towards the back of the site. They're going to look to try and push this one back fully for the bonus round of G2. They're looking for value, and Leaf is getting it. It leaves it just as Som in a 1v2, tucked to the corner. A lot of damage done to Leaf. Really a shred.
Hide. TP, please.
The reposition up to the side.
Come on, man, the timing. He wouldn't swing that angle by him if he wasn't by himself. I don't know how to word that. Because they didn't double swing, you probably could have assumed that that second dude wasn't with him. Whatever, I'm just a pub player.
And I
What
like
do
that
I
you
know?
highlighted Finesse when he was tucked in that corner, because I think if he kills Jorgamo there, honestly, I think the round's over. It is a totally different round. I don't know how, because it feels like Jorg didn't actually clear that properly. But Finesse didn't actually convert the kill, and so the Yoru ult can come through that he generated in the prior round. And this is a disastrous start for NRG.
Yeah, and no matter if you're picking into this map, think you have a better macro idea than G2. What G2's always going to be good at is having these plays in the mid-round off any ult they have built up. They have looked like the best team this year at implementing this Yoru into set plays. Saw a great display there to get Jaw a completely free kill and open that map up on the retake.
This could be deadly. Leaf Outlaw in hand. Against a multitude of players with half armor. NRG, of course, going to be playing this one slow and steady. Losing an early player, though. Mata going down. That's the player you were hoping to load the orbs up.
Okay, I think somebody on Twitter is lying.
I think a lot of teams have underrated that weapon's value, but he was one of the first to, any chance he sees a lesser buy, he's abusing that gun to maximum potential.
Look at the way as well, on anti-ecos, how G2 stack over towards B more than they would usually. This time you see Leaf again taking contact here, but they're making sure that if NRG do the classic, we hit B on an eco round, that G2 have got the personnel ready to defend.
Quick swinging through the back though, Ethan. Quick to dismiss.
They said that their paper, now they're a dentist, but they said their paper losses this year exceed over $1 million.
Jonah, Trent both have their rechargeables.
So the S&P year to date is down about 14%. So that means they have about a $7 million portfolio.
It's a 2v1. As quick as that, Ethan isolating it, brings us to that 1v1. Ult earned on top of it. Jorgen with a tap as well. Completely avoided, but with the shots fired off, Ethan, he's still going to go for it. Rolling Thunder going wide and damage done. Jorg single digits, yet where the hell is he pulling that from?
Against his former teammate of all people, Jaw pulls it off right at the end, and that's a heartbreak for Ethan. Earning the Rolling Thunder, investing it on a one-on-one that he couldn't bring across the line.
That's gross. I've got to see the replay of that. How does he even hit that shot? He's stunned up, right? Because he jumps in order to just get around the corner, taps the spike again, and somehow lands the kill. What?
He was still stunned!
He doesn't see him! He's not on his screen!
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's right.
And he waves at Ethan across the room. I mean,
nah,
that's a Jaw round.
That's not okay. He's 9-1. That is not all right. That's not cricket.
Yeah, this NRG team is struggling to get any sort of space and semblance of it. Now, they've been gifted good portion towards a rubble. G2 not opting into the refind. Instead, they're going to be pushing and squeezing onto Finesse now. They know that he's relatively alone. There's no pincer maneuvers happening from the B side, but they are running this guy down. He needs to be very careful of that. Leaf isolated on a bit of an island, stunned up to the side and needs some support and backup. That's a pit drop down up top though. That's Mata. Precision is necessary.
All right, let's go NRG.
Light removed from the site. 3v4 scenarios where G2 find themselves in.
Really good pace on that hit from NRG. As soon as they spotted an opening, they pounced. Leaf was not allowed any moment to thrive, but what's going on there?
It's been cleaned up.
It feels like G2 have got an opening back into the round.
Oh yeah, 3v3.
They're waiting for the right timings onto this one. It's going to be
NRG winning, bro.
Notice, and there it is. Paranoia sweeps forward.
Yep.
Fully blinded up as well. There's a return of the fire.
FNS just made a play like me, bro.
To stem the bleeding. Anything to survive here. Mata's got to do so much more, and it's just impossible for him. G2, where did they get this level of discipline from?
It all looked so good for NRG. A great reaction, a great execute into A, and then a 3v5 squandered with the death on the Omen ult, and G2 classically showing, as FNS said in his interview, the best team play that any squad has in this league.
Well, also, some just Omen ults into his death.
That's true.
I mean, that's what turns it from a 3v5 into an even round that G2 wins.
Yeah, I think it was a 4v4 there, then a 4v3, and then, yeah, straight back into a 3v3. I mean, that is just unusual. It feels like NRG are getting into spots to win these rounds, but can't find either the big pick in the mid to late round, or can't fight together well enough on the post plant.
It was a 1v1 they lost, followed by another 1v2 that Ethan almost won, and then this round where they were ahead again. Mike's the new coach for NRG that they grabbed for stage 1, has to call his first time out and right the ship here, because G2 already getting 5 on defense.
Yeah. No one remembers that the rounds are close if you get 13-0'd. You know what I mean? Like, yes, these rounds have been close and they have been winnable for NRG, But when you're
implying that they're going to get 13-0.
No, I'm not implying that. I'm just using that as a hyperbolic kind of analogy. Obviously, we just watched a game that should have been a 13-0, and instead, Crew, got a 12-0 half, and then couldn't win an attack round on
Yeah,
Pearl,
I mean,
so.
2 of these players were here for the only 13-0 in
That's
VCT
so
history.
true. That's so true.
They won champs that year, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, G2 7-0 on Lotus this year.
And this is NRG's map pick, friend.
Does connect. A lot of damage done to Valen. No kill, though, to be found.
Bit of a bait and switch kind of setup, but they don't end up going into Valen.
Seeing all that util, I think NRG believe that G2's put a lot of resources into the C fight, but
no way.
That's just spam.
I mean, it's pure instinctual, no? Yeah, a bit of spam onto the corner, maybe aware that he'd already crossed in here in that TP, and this is NRG just being picked to pieces across the map. Any cohesive idea that they might have had?
They're also just playing very spread. I mean, Mada was just trying to find an individual timing there. It wasn't really based off a wider game plan, I don't think.
Sleep's not being denied any of this. Armageddon to try and push these players straight into the fight and fray, but there's a tight corner and a gap to play in. Weaving in and out, back and forth. Trent calling for a bit of help. That's Jorgamo with a tidy little 3-piece to put a finish to that round. 6-0. G2 have dinner reservations.
That they do. NRG wanted to play this like a slow default every round, try and work out where G2
Ooh,
is
I just started a fight. Alright, I should probably quit doing that, but I just started a fight on Twitter, bro.
Getting caught by recluse, getting taken out by spam through
Alright,
smoke,
let's see
or
here.
anything of the like.
They've gotten the
G2
bomb
is
down every
almost
round.
always playing
Yeah.
from an advantage in the mid round.
And then even the few rounds where NRG
Soft.
they're in the lead, they can't
Dude,
convert.
have you seen the video where Trump, he's like, he's standing,
No ults for NRG.
and he's like
Go
looking out
breach
over
ult.
this,
The train keeps
and the
rolling
camera
for G2.
pans away from him. And then it pans back to him, and he's like, and he's pointing right at the dude with the camera. There's something baller about that video.
Utility. A ton of it being pulled out of NRG just to try and take the first section of Sieg.
And he's like shaking his head at him, like, yeah,
And
you.
look at how much information
Like, whoa,
Leaf
bro.
is getting over towards A. He's just jiggling in front of his own wall.
It's a lot of pressure, the
Full
president
info
looking
down
at
this
you.
spot. So they
Oh,
don't need to be
no.
worried about it at all, right? The whole of G2 can stack defensive players towards C, towards B. And when you've heard that much noise on C, and you know that B is a likely end for a lot of these eco rounds, I think
Oh, they see him running A, they see him running A.
Drone just saw a player rotating back towards A. That'll pull Trent over.
Dude, it's so true. Trump is the memeiest. He's the memeiest president of all time, for sure. Now they're gonna run back to C. All right, here we go.
Gonna meander their way back over towards
NRG.
Finesse never really gave up that
You know what
space.
we should do? We should give NRG our strats for Lotus. We're premier champs, baby. Down 9-3, 9-3, and 10-2, and still won
Mid
premier.
round here for G2, they're going to realize pretty quickly now this is landing over towards C here in Ordis. Util, but they're perfectly happy to play the retake on top of it.
5v5 C retake. This is one of the best cases for Stingers.
Salvos, fault lines, all going to be coming out here. NRG needs a little bit extra. I think you can see they're gearing up for a fight towards Waterfall. They want to try and push past the lines of scrimmage, see what they can get here.
Oh,
Util
no.
out into the hands, stuns flying forwards, and really, to the dismay of NRG, they're just
Bro.
unable to really
They're
carve out
pivoting B.
any sort of path. There's 8 seconds remaining. Spikes in his hands. Brook, he needs a bit more where that came from, too.
It's hard not to. Oh. Listen, you can,
No, that was...
there's certain things you can hate the man on, but there's certain things you just gotta pay. Like, alright, that was a pretty cool
working
video. I
things
don't know.
around in the mid round to get into a position where they can get into a bit of a post plant. Yeah, they kind of scattered towards the end there, but this little combo play from Jonah P and Trent, where Jonah is jiggle peeking with his ultimate, and then because of the
These
Ah.
gap,
guys are absolutely lost.
I mean that's tragic.
These guys
Because
are
there's a gap at the
absolutely
front of the breach
lost.
ultimate, right? And so they
Ooh.
put a bounce Tejo stun at the front, so there's just stuns everywhere to cover NRG.
Another C fight though.
Yeah, they haven't actually found a way past this one. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Jorgamo! Yeah, stunned up and suppressed from the drone. There's no escaping that one. They finally found a solution to try and navigate what G2 have been doing at the beginning of every single round. Amada barely alive himself, one away from the ult. We're going to see it immediately. Steel guard and sweeping his way across the site. It's going to give it open access, at least if NRG choose to commit. In through eventually, Satchel in forwards. Mada wants to gain some ground for the rest of his team, but there's a deep flank already occurring. Leaf on the back line, Armageddon to try and push them back and away to buy a bit of extra time for these players to get in. Finesse has not been spotted and has not
Did
been
they not
cleared.
look left?
It's a tidy 2-piece for this IGL. He's done a lot to try and stop whatever could be occurring here. Just wrangles the rifle in play. Ethan finally putting a stop to Trent and Leaf. to the flank here.
No, he
Playing
should have walked
selfish play,
in.
Just buy this time, but what can you really do in this spot? A 1v3, you have to ISO every single fight available. And NRG not willing to give up too much more. Doubled up, high-low, just trying to bait that
Ooh.
swing out and spam through the box.
Check your Discord. All right, let me see this.
Avert your eyes if you're Brazilian.
Finally, a break caught for NRG. They've tried that C-mount fight a couple times, but every time,
Nah, I mean, if we want to have a real talk about this, and I never know if people are really willing to have a talk about this, but like people are talking about how terrible tariffs are. If they're so terrible, why does every country use them?
So he wasn't able to escape.
Literally every country,
I mean, that's one of the best
especially
counters for the Euro
against
in the current
us.
meta is
If
just
they're so
applying the
terrible and they're
time
gonna wreck you, why do so many
Finally
countries
got
use
the
them?
board. It feels way too late, and here G2 looking like they might want
We
to
can argue about little semantics of
Let
different
NRG
things,
read
but
this.
Yeah, set up. Goldman's got a flash in.
Yeah, I
How
mean-
there it is. The fault line of paranoia. So stop.
Oh, come on, Mata.
Yeah, Mata. He had no choice but to let loose of it, but he just ended up dying anyway. And waiting and walking all the way in. Finesse is alone on a bloody island. The rest of his team.
His team just left him, bro?
B-main.
Oh, cool.
Preemptive here.
We
by
got another
G2.
kick
We know
one.
what was followed
Hey,
up in Finesse
Varial Q, or Yariel
All
Q.
that space, quick
If
jump
you
spot.
are
They know that they can pick
real,
this one up.
if you are
Let's see if
real,
They can play this one 2v4.
type any message whatsoever, and I'll message you on Discord. If you're real, if you're a real human, not just going around spamming the same message to everybody, message me right now. I will message you on Discord and we'll begin working together, okay?
Right out, Ethan. Left alone. Too much to do into this spot here.
I verified that you have few followers, viewers, and users who are not very active in the chat. You have a qualified channel promoter. I will get involved in your channel to gain massive followers and a wide audience to affiliate with. If you are already affiliated, I will work so that you can verify and start earning $400 per stream. Trust me, no bot is involved. Contact me on Discord.
NRG are going to have to win.
I'm going to do it right now.
all the rest of the rounds in the
I
half
can't.
to
This
even
is
have
a
chance here.
can't lose opportunity for me.
Clearly picked
Right?
this map thinking that they had some kind of read on what G2 were going to be doing. I assumed that it was going to be based off G2's defense. They thought they'd be able to find a gap, perhaps the fact that they don't run a hard sentinel on this map. Maybe they thought they'd be able to get some pops into certain sites. I haven't really seen a specific idea that NRG feel like they've really been going for this half. Like normally when there's heavy ante that goes into a pick like this, there's some specific theme that you can dig into. Like we're ending C a ton, or we're really trying to pop B in a lot of these situations. Whereas I feel like it's a bit more of a standard finesse attack side that we're seeing, where he's trying to do the push and pull on the rotates, but there's no specific punish on a G2 tendency that I've noticed so far. Or at least if he's been trying it, I can't tell, perhaps because it hasn't been working.
Yeah, they've been getting into positions a couple times.
Could you imagine though? $400 per stream is actually crazy money, by the way. Crazy money. That's $2,000 a week if you stream 5 days a week.
9 rounds.
That's filthy.
Almost
$2,000 a week. Just off a kick, bro?
Bad news, NRG fans.
Let's go.
We're going into Ascent after this, where he's been averaging a 2.0 KD on the Waylay as well.
Cutting through.
Leaf showing contact, trying to feign like they've changed the defensive setup, but Valen and Jorgamo still sitting here pretty. It's a bait set up by G2. And NRG might just be falling for it, thinking that Leaf is alone, isolated, the only one defending. See if they take this time in fast enough. Rolling Thunder through into the corner, and here it is. This is where the danger lies. They do not know that Jorgamo crouched down into the corner. It's a 3-piece for him. It's a perfect setup on every single level for G2.
The second you think you figure this team out, they show another wrinkle in the plan. An absolutely perfect bait from G2. Jorgamo not only avoids all of the util coming in, doesn't get caught by the ultimate, and not a soul from NRG looks over to punish him.
And that's a sick read. G2 have already, before the barriers even drop, know that this is ending C.
Yep. And this is now 2 timeouts that NRG have taken, that G2 then find the perfect read on their defensive side and win the round straight after.
Welcome to my TikTok live. Ooh, let's see. How many views has my TikTok got? Have we crossed 100 yet?
Over towards the A side, and only Leaf holding this area down.
Aw, 96. All right, it has completely died. It is. That clip has completely died.
Jorg teleports in as well to give him some reinforcements.
NRG are so slow on this. They've lost their moment towards C.
my god, that's cheeky. He's gone for the peek. Again, he's lucky to be alive as well. That's a mad dash and evacuation away. You can see Brock, he's considering it. Bits and pieces of util now for the rubble. Re-clearance out through A, but Jonah P primed and holding down the line. Immediately removes Brock from the fight. He's forced to watch from the spectator seat.
Brent Jaws in another corner.
Closed. Uh-oh.
And they're heading to his site.
All grouped up now. Flash tucked up. Will they clear him out of this spot here? Thorns are going to be swinging out wide. Wall up. Door opened up on top of it. So quick pivot again from NRG. They want to move. Moves over, but this is just Jorgmo. He's taking liberties in the moment.
What a beautiful read there from Jorg. After the pivot comes through, his bait and switch spot wasn't really relevant, and now he's got the dimensional drift to clear out and look for all of the aggressive spots that NRG are going to be fighting over.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to anticipate this yet. Leaf tucked to the side once more. It's the bait and switch setups. Hiding their intent. G2, I mean, they are looking more than in control, man. It's like they bloody invented the map.
And the macro was solid there for NRG. He found what he wanted. Eked out that there was an opening towards C late in this round, but at 2 different points. As they're rotating through, a G2 player takes a perfect timing and gets a pick. Ends in that 3v5 there.
I mean, I think also you could criticize
Mary
the
Meeks,
post plan.
welcome
Mada fights
to
over towards
the
Waterfall,
channel.
while Finesse is looking over towards Spawn, and they're not really doing stuff together to try to create advantages in post-plant spots. The map's over. Like, this is a GG go next. And maybe you could have called that 3 or 4 rounds ago, I don't know.
I mean, you were calling it before the map started.
Well, yeah, they lost in the draft.
As a reminder, 7-0, G2's record. This is looking like a number 8 on the year.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's hard to
somebody
imagine a
retweeted
comeback
my
from this spot.
my reply to them. Let's go.
But it's going to be layered down reactively here. We're just trying to push back. Potential play from NRG, trying to get themselves into the C site. Slow and steady, not really been working out for NRG. And even this aggressive re-clear, look at this, Jonah P wants to try and take an early fight, and engagement is going to be calling for the reinforcements. Finesse laid it down to the side.
What is NRG doing, man?
Trying to hold and help him out.
They don't overstay their welcome, though, do they? Perfect little bit of pressure, and then they back up. Now it's going to be Valen tested. Does NRG look to re-clear over towards Rubble? And he just backs off before any of that pressure will come through.
There's been multiple times this map where NRG are in a position, if they had activated just a couple seconds earlier, could have caught someone on a re-clear. But G2 has been a step ahead in the positioning.
Trout said the biggest streamers get away with running
all of
20
this
minutes of
half.
ads an hour because
Another
viewers are more
attempt
willing
to
to sub to
threaten
them
to
versus
pivot
small
right
to mid
towards B
streamers.
here.
That makes sense.
Doors open
Hey,
top.
what's up, Nestles?
Information gathered
314-159-26-535. Alright, I know the 3.14159 is definitely Pi, but I don't know the other ones.
Here, pushing these players into the sight lines. Jorgmo somehow wins up that fight.
Go!
Back here, still Blue Room needs to be accounted for. With only 18 seconds left. No one's watching their backs, but in a squeeze.
Yo, where's he gonna go, Mata?
Script that G2 have layered down, yet still a player advantage is somehow found here for NRG, but they're just running out of time.
You don't have time.
No matter
Okay,
which direction you're really going to be sending this one in. There's 5 seconds left, and a double peek forwards anyway. 4 seconds remaining, barely getting onto it. Yet
Dude, Mata, you slow crouch peek a corner. You slow crouch peek a corner.
And NRG, when you look at their IGLs,
Bro.
Valen is that guy in 2025. Not only is he leading this team, calling it
Bro.
a perfect half, but winning out the clutch to close
Bro.
things out there. And that's just such a heartbreaker for NRG, because again, Finesse finds a great timing here, punishes onto Leaf, lurks into C, but the spike is completely stuck, and G2 just in a position to pinch and close things out.
Yeah, they can't go back to Finesse because they have to go through B.
Hey, Mata, you're like that, right? Where are you at? Hey, you're like...
And they can see him. He's right across the row from NRG.
Yeah, it's impossible
Wow. Yeah, he's got like 130,000 people watching him, you know?
Quick break on the other side of things. We're going to see if we can get this map wrapped up nice and pretty.
Nature sure is full of wonders.
Mata said, I'ma get him. It just got popped, bro.
Red Bull Zero is here.
Popped.
100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Yeah, I don't know that I can watch the next map.
Now, anytime you get a one-sided game like this, you've got to be on Pie Watch.
Of course,
right?
especially with NRG, Finesse in the
with
lobby.
Finesse and Som, who've, you know, kind of brought
Uh-oh,
this
people are
to
saying
the
Black
forefront
Monday
of
is going to be
the
trending.
Now,
Do you guys remember the last Black Monday? August 5th,
Well, maybe some
2024.
if that's something you believe in.
But the
That was a
group
fun day.
version
We were actually
like
popping
Jordan
that
with
day.
the 22/7, rough fractional percentage.
This guy's a nerd.
Approximation of pi. Put
Putting
as
on
a
my glasses,
fraction.
the 22/7, the mollies at this particular angle.
All I'm saying is,
I'm
you know,
giving you a swirly after this cast.
Yes. See me hung up by my boxes somewhere.
All right, let's see. How much does this get dragged out? Did G2 just give
good
us a nice
start.
early end to this, potentially? Yeah, it's a good start for NRG. Opening pick off for them. Spike dropped down as well into rubble.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot to try to retrieve.
All right,
especially
same
with the
thing.
one-one.
If NRG wins
Like I said,
this map,
strange, bad game from Som so far. He's normally up.
why
on
did he
top of the
swing it,
board.
Som? Why?
Almost every game that NRG have had this year.
It just feels bad to watch these.
I'm
moments.
swinging!
At an advantage.
I'm gonna expose myself to 3 or 4 angles.
Positioning, loses their life, and now this is advantage to G2. They have a nearly open A site. Ethan, the only one to try and hold here.
He's feeling some heat, but
They're not even headed this
yeah,
way.
Spike's not going to be going into his direction. Mata's also got a bit of a pincer maneuver occurring. Doesn't want to overplay his hand here, just on 22 health, so making sure that he can hold for any repushes. But
Dude, look at how much space they have on
very
B,
much
bro.
aware that it's heading over towards B. They hear it now with the plan committed. Not quite pushed back, I think, by the
I
salvos.
think Jogamo saw him, no?
To A here. They might have baited
Yeah.
Mata
They
in.
have. It's just this slow play. It's just baiting these players. NRG hunting for any sort of mid-round information, and they are just falling, dropping.
Anyway,
like
if
flies.
NRG wins this map, 50 gifted to the community. 50.
Sticking with the plan.
Is he not going to hard check
Close
this?
again, Leaf. Is he going to be anticipated onto this?
Bro!
Doesn't even matter if he's anticipated.
It's tragic. Every spot you see like that, where it should be an NRG player that's like prime ready for the kill.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You watch a pistol like this, it should have gone the way of NRG. It
Yep.
should have.
Now, over under, NRG forces next round.
What do you mean under?
Over under. I'll give
Don't
you a
worry, we'll
percentage.
save for next map,
Yeah, we'll
guys.
save it for the next
Put it in
map.
the Dow. That'll go well.
I mean, what is this fight?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. And this here. Just,
How?
like I said, man, I mean, okay.
There's been a couple of spots like that today.
Okay.
I mean, there's been way too many spots like that.
Anytime a round is close and it looks like NRG can win, that has been happening.
No, guys, I'm leaning forwards. I'm locking in for this last
Okay.
round, okay? Surely this is it.
I mean, NRG going to try to delay it as long as possible here.
This point just feels like a stay of execution, even if they win this.
12-1.
Pound for pound, getting a bit of mid-round information, but it's broken on either side here. Fault line, clearance out through C-Mount. Juggernaut's going to be farming up the orbs, or at least a tap on it, trying to bait out some sort of response. Deep push from Mata. Find out if this one's anticipated. Stays his hand, just tilting onto the shoulder, aiming to take the fight. G2 can do no wrong.
The awareness from Trent is immaculate in that spot. He's jiggle peeking not for a position over towards root or rubble, but literally for the exact position that Mata is in.
Bacon to see. NRG's reasonably bought into this one. 2 players here. Mateo leaning over as well.
Yeah, they broke the clone, but it still triggered the wall.
What? It's unfortunate, to be honest, for NRG, but at this point...
And look at A, look at A.
Yeah, it's completely open.
Mada went down, and Finesse is trying to gamble that Valen is going to rotate back over to B or C instead of going for the most obvious approach, but there's no one home here.
The entire Energy attack side was trying to call rounds like this, the masterclass Finesse fake, every time. G2 did not bite, and here, it's just perfection from G2, a fake, a post-plant 5v4 to close out this map.
G2 are in complete
Just
control
breathing.
now towards the side and towards the back of it. Trent's got a watchful eye, Leaf can hear it. Jump spot, rumble of footsteps. Not sure if he's going to be anticipating two of these plays. The fault line, no way. No way. Tiny's the corners here. ADS up. Now will be falling into the end here. NRG find themselves with a bit of an advantage. Got to be careful where you step, Trent, but still he's sharp and snappy with the aim. Sling it in hand, leaving it just down to 1v1. Som 10 HP in a dream.
GG's!
1 is the finish. G2 wrapping it up nice and quick.
And with a team like NRG, you know the questions are going to be circulating. They picked this map. They thought they saw something against G2 on Lotus. But G2 still undefeated this year on the map. That makes their record 8-0 in 2025.
Jorgamo dropping a cool 27 kills and 7 deaths.
Great work, honestly.
And he's about to go and play Waylay on Ascent, where he's averaging a 2 KD.
Yeah.
We might get home before dinner time.
Just under 2 kills per round for Jorgamo in that map.
It's absurd. I really don't understand what NRG were going for with this map, because it wasn't even like we saw what their game plan was. I think
Hey, what does my profile look like if you just click on me?
But clearly they had a plan
even
here,
know.
but I don't know what it was.
NRG, they've not
Free
let
advice
us set
guy.
thus far this
Free
year.
advice and
Hopefully,
guidance from a
they have
CFP
better
professional
surprise for us
financial
there,
advisor.
Dire
Let's
straits
change
for
the world
NRG.
together.
Going into their map
Nice.
pick next, it is Ascent, as we've already alluded to. We're going to be going to a quick break when we're stepping away. Of course, Uber and the analyst that's going to be breaking it all down.
Hey, bro, when Mata slow crouch peeked a corner, I knew it was over. Dairachio! Welcome to TikTok. Welcome to TikTok, Dairachio. Oh, that's when it was over? Yes. Once Mata slow peaked, it was over. Before that, they had a chance. And then Mata said, hey guys, do you want to know how much I care about this game? Boom! Dead. I knew it was over there. That was Mata trying to be Michael Jordan, shooting the eyes closed free throw. Except he bricked, bro. Game over.
Party on the corner with Valen, seaside of the map.
I wonder why they think they're so good at it.
Chin him down and Valen takes 4. G2 are laughing all the way.
Som again, lighting up the kill feed. That was cold. Damn.
Here with Josh RT from G2. I don't even know if Dominant covers that map. You stealing NRG's map pick. What, in your estimation, do you think happened that you guys just ran away with it? What happened?
I mean, I'm glad you used the word dominant because that was the word I was using for my pre-match meeting. Like, let's dominate them. Don't give them a chance. There's been a lot of talk after the MIBR game, like how rest of the league is getting close to us. Like, I told the guys, like, let's make sure we keep that gap and let's increase that gap. So
Nah,
I mean,
that's like when teams kept picking
I don't think they had
split
a
against
chance
Sentinels.
in that game.
I know they
I
eventually
felt like
lost,
they were making
but
all the right reads,
other teams kept
and
picking
when
it
they
like
were
7
in
times in a
position to
row,
maybe close that
and they
round,
just
like,
kept
our
getting dunked
boys,
on by Sentinels.
Played the situation so well, perfectly, and they executed. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to map 2.
Me too. Best of luck.
Oh, that was absolutely brutal stuff. And honestly, very frank, matter-of-fact delivery there from Josh. That's an NRG map pick against this G2 team. Why are you so upset, bro?
Help me believe, man. Help me believe in this team. Come on, man. They could do it. They took 2 new players. They came in with Mikes. Mikes is supposed to change things. They're supposed to have good defensive sides, great starts, fast starts. What happened?
I have the recipe for success for NRG, and it starts with the bare minimum, the basics,
Whoa,
bro.
okay, right.
Not the banana you were thinking, buddy. They need potassium.
To be on that one.
Why can I not post on Twitter? Have I been posting too much?
They need to calm their nerves with some potassium. Where's the banana cam? We need the bare minimum at this point, bro.
Insane.
I like how this dude is leaned back, snuggy with a pillow, like he's at home, bro. Look at Mimi looking at him like, you're pathetic. Put the pillow down, bro. Are you a man? Alright, Mimi probably didn't say that, but
and we saw
maybe.
exactly that. Anything that you're trying to read on your attack side or get anything done here on the side of Energy, it was shut down. Movement was great, the calling was great from Valen, and great individual skill from all across the board for G2.
Yes, but on the side of NRG, on their attacking side, they had a lot of good opportunities in the post plant. Yes, they did. They had numbers advantages in some of the rounds, and they weren't using utility, and they were kind of just throwing their bodies and giving G2 a way back in, which you cannot be doing to a team of this caliber.
I mean, you have everything in this composition to succeed on this map, right? Especially in some of those post-plant scenarios. You've got Marta's even on the Ray, so you have that extra bit of utility. They're not playing the Fade, though. There's still that Tejo Breach with the Ray setup, so you're not comboing anything necessarily.
And listen, Brock was playing probably the best individually on the side of NRG. That obviously the scores were very skewed. But listen, the bonus round is where I already noticed something was wrong in terms of NRG, because we have
Kate Lorenz, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the TikTok. Very excited to have you here.
By 3 members of G2.
Why
We have
won't
Teo
this
missiles.
go?
We have a Teo stun. We're not using any of it. We're doing it up down, contacting. Now we can't play the utility, and it's just like, okay, like why are we trying to take these aim fights when we could just play the spike?
Yeah, they sharpened 100 spears and then used their fists in the battle. They brought everything to the fight. Let's talk about one of the sharpest tools in the shed. I mean, now G2 chilling. I mean, it feels like they've really just got started here. We've got to talk about Jorgamo, because my goodness, again, the casters mentioned it, he's almost averaging exactly 2 kills per round. It was a short map, and he almost dropped 30. That is ridiculous output.
This right here. He's stunned. Stunned by Rolling Thunder.
Yes.
Is able to look up, down, and then flick back up to get the headshot into Ethan. I mean, you saw the reaction on Ethan's face. I'm not good at lip reading, but I read what he said on that one.
And listen, when you give a player like this a 4K on the pistol round just right off the rip, it's just not good for you in any way. And then even just playing in spots like this, the trigger discipline, I mean, he was so confident in every engagement, every scenario he was in. It just was flawless.
460 ACS.
But that last example, I think, is maybe what was missing as well from Energy. You just mentioned they're pulling out a raise here on the side of Energy. They don't have a fade. You're playing Breach Tejo. So what do you have? What do you need to do? Because you don't have scans to enter into sites. You need to use util to allow Modern
When
to
Jaw
go
starts
in.
doing
And
that, it's
Aftershock
over.
in that corner probably could have pushed Jogimo away. So trying
These
to
guys
save
are
utility at
toast.
the right spot to push the opponents out. The reason why you have a Tejo, the reason
All right,
why
we
you're
have
playing your Breach,
97 views
you want to
now
use
on,
util to push them away out into the open
on that
where
TikTok,
Energy will
baby.
be really good in these traits. But how many corners were not checked by Energy on how they played the map?
Is that one of the more egregious post-plant stats that we've seen here? What was the plan supposed to be for NRG? You just mentioned they need to make use of util to get into these sites. Is it that they don't have enough to work with in those post-plant fights? They're getting forced out? How is it that they are only 1 out of 7 in post-plant scenarios?
Dude, I don't know. I think it's
because
what you
they're
were
just
saying.
trying to fight. They're not actually playing the spike. They're not playing the advantages that they had correctly. And you even heard Josh saying it. Like, he was like, yeah, we were in some unfavorable positions, but my players played it perfectly, right?
Yeah.
But that only happens if there's a way in. And when you're up numbers, taking these solo engagements against a Jogmo who's been just running through you already is not the way to go.
Dude, they were so bad. So bad, bro.
A side two off a C side hit,
Crazy.
manipulating the map, going back to the A side. But what does Jordan P do? Play out in the open, avoids the fall line, avoids tail missiles, gets an instant headshot. So the positioning around these players into these hectic scenarios for G2 has always been on top. You have 5 really smart players around this roster that could do so good.
Now, this guy's a man of many words and big emotions. Let's see what Mike's has to say ahead of map 2 for this struggling NRG's team.
Mike's.
Here with Mike's from Energy, a suffocating map.
Am I
from
going to open
G2.
Twitter
You
later
took
to
a
see
little bit
52
come out here.
years?
So what were you saying,
Uh-oh.
your boys back there?
Possibly soft, yes. I didn't know you followed me, to be honest. I didn't know.
And our game plan didn't go according to plan, but we think
Yo, what up, Zen?
different.
Hey, Zen, is it Zeniku? Just the whole thing. I always call you Zen,
Could not
but is
have
it
said that on any
Zeniku?
better. Another Emmy-winning performance from our guy, Mike's. I mean, again, what do you say? Like, you have an idea. There's a reason you're picking the undefeated map for G2 against them, right? You've got to have some swagger coming into a series like this, but that was a beatdown, a generational one at that. And you just have to put it out of your
Hey,
mind.
is there a
right?
way? Why
I'm gonna
can't
be
I
honest, though,
tell
at least when you get beat down like that, it's
if
way
I
easier to
if I'm
just,
not
you know,
allowed to
toss it the
post
side and
anymore?
Focus on what's ahead of you.
GG, go next.
Otherwise, if it feels a close
At some point, you just don't have
Like,
to
where does it show me on Twitter if I have run out of the ability to post for
I
today?
feel like sensory deprivation for them on Lotus, so I'm not going to lie. Map 2 is coming up, though, after a short break, so stick around. Let's see if NRG have got what it takes to bring some game to G2.
You guys got it.
You probably blocked from posting for a half hour. There is a limit, Zen. I just don't know how to tell. Hey, what's up? I think you might be Russian. Is that kinda? I don't know. Welcome to the channel, though, on TikTok. How do I tell that I'm blocked? Is there a way? There's got to be a way to check that, right? Like, there's got to be something that says you are no longer allowed to...
All right, well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to be getting into the next map shortly. And, yeah, it's Ascent coming up here, which is obviously not a choice of NRG. Just losing the map that they picked, 13-1, which was Lotus. Now, historically, you might be wondering as well. I mean, there's a question that's going to be raised and was, I suppose, asked, you know, what was the idea behind NRG picking that? Didn't go their way. The only thing you can do now is look forward.
That you can. For G2, this is another map they are yet to lose. They've played it twice this year with their new
I'm not
Waylay
interested
comp
in this
and
guy, the finance guy.
been great on it both times. John in particular, he has been feasting here on Ascent.
The guy's
But for
so
NRG,
negative, bro.
First time they're playing this in 2025, so a chance for a new look.
Yeah, and we don't know what they're going to be going for. Finesse-led teams have actually been a little creative on this map.
2022, right?
Well, now, yeah, I mean, I was
Stream's
gonna
been
bring
fun,
up
Zen?
whether they
Stream's
have,
been
like,
fun?
on this map and that kind of stuff
Let's
before,
see,
but
we
this is
posted
actually just the most Barry
a TikTok
basic
clip.
comp
Have
that
fun
you
with
could
friends,
possibly
watch some
run.
Valorant. I've been replying like a demon on Twitter, bro. It's been crazy.
This is... Yeah,
All I
this
need is
kind of
one of
last
these
year,
responses
2
or
years
tweets
ago
to
kind
blow
of
up.
meta. It feels
And then I can
like
help the
there is
world, baby.
actually more
And then I can
innovation
help the
that you can get
world.
done. For anyone who's, I mean, less familiar with Valorant, I guess, Ascent, the meta has basically just been stuck the same way for years. Everybody has played the Jet, the Sova, the KO, the Omen, but now we are finally seeing enough meta diversity with the compositions that people are starting to go outside of that and playing stuff like the Teho here, playing the Waylay, playing double Sentinel comps. There is a ton more diversity that you can tap into.
Ooh, yeah, let's take a look, Zen.
Feels like it's lacking a bit of creativity. It's not that it's going to be terrible, probably, but not accessing.
You have probably never seen this one.
Super interesting off the agent select.
But if you want it to be exciting, watch Jojimo when G2 gets into the attacking side here. He has been so good on this map
I got this at
thus far,
TwitchCon.
and already
I don't know that they're for sale.
He's set up towards B. They have a lot of
But I
looks
got it
diving
at
into
TwitchCon.
market, diving onto the site anchors here. This guy's explosive.
Jake from State Farm. Jake from State Farm. Jake from State Farm.
CG2 gearing up onto the pistol. Looks like a slow beginning. They're all just trying to hide intent away from potential early dart. Anything that might come their way.
It's one of those Funko Pops.
Seconds pass.
Jake from State Farm.
Looking to send it further forwards here. And there it is. Not anticipating that Mata was cut up close into the corner. That was just... Oh!
Run, Mata, run!
Okay, straight into the wall, but lucky to be alive. And he still scurries away to the safety of the site. Ethan is going to be able to supplement with a bit of covering fire.
Very early read here from Valen as well. If things went wrong, he's gone and taken A main control. So he's offering his team an ability to pivot back. So things are not devastated just yet for G2 on the pistol round, but they're forced to call an audible because NRG's original setup was pretty good.
Smoke's blooming. Salva's going to be covering away here, but a nice little perch for Som to sit on. Usually takes Trent out of the fight already. Still the plan going to be going down. Needs to be some level of coverage there from G2, making sure that there's no repush in through tree for now, but they need a few picks and they need it now. That paranoia just not quite connecting. Som fully cleaning them up.
I haven't seen that one
Mata
before.
towards the end there as well. So
Yeah, I don't think it's for public use.
Those are the players you need coming online for NRG if they're
You have
going
a
to rally
Jake from
back
State
at all
Farm
in this
Funko
series.
Pop
Mata,
next
who
to an
has
American
been
flag
great
and a
even
picture
in
of you
this
and your
team's
wife.
failures
Yep.
across
And
kickoff and stage
my Free Advice
one.
Guy hat.
Som as well,
And
he's been looking right up there alongside
my Twitch.
alongside
you know what?
Valen as
My
one of America's
TwitchCon.
best controller players.
I don't even know
They were
the
pretty
best way to
quiet
do
that
this.
first map, but
This is my
they
TwitchCon
controlled
badge.
the pistol.
In case you're wondering, that's how Tens and Kaide do their signatures? Autographs? I don't know.
And you see him
I
up
don't know,
there
bro.
here on the pistol. It was a good defensive setup. They had Mata pushed deep into B main, but they also had two players ready to defend that.
Boom, I don't even think you can see that. Bro.
And it's a force
Boom.
buy for G2.
That was fun. And then, you know what I really need to put back?
They often do this when they're on their attack side. I think it's just something of a
Look at the size of this pine cone, bro.
They want to snowball the advantages on attack side. If they lose the pistol,
That's a big old pine cone.
Stingers. They're going to be sending it flying forwards now. Salvos try and pave a way onto this B site. Tucked close behind stairs. You can see that Reef.
And then I actually have
over. One with the flash, Jogamo.
two of these bad boys. Let's go.
Straight back with the refract, and now we start flooding out. G2 spilling into the site, looking to see if they can gain an advantage, any sort of position onto it. Finesse, flashback.
When I was at TwitchCon, I thought, you know, my mom, or my wife, well, my wife might want Jake from State Farm. Yo, Molly Barkin, 601. Welcome to the TikTok. To the TikTok live, baby.
Back onto their heads here. Mata's just holding, hoping, and praying that somebody will walk into that. The paranoia is good. Putting a squeeze onto this one. There's a critical kill to try and find Jonah P, but they still can't remove this guy. G2, just so picture perfect at playing off one another.
NRG had so many opportunities there to be able to try to find
Man.
the kill that would have mattered.
Try sending your
Flash
post again
forwards
in a
from
minute.
Finesse, and he just missed the timing, and nobody watching stairs as Leaf snuck all the way around
bro.
behind.
Bro.
A tough one to lose just after they'd had such a great pistol.
And these are the problems that were manifesting map one for NRG. Getting into winning
The content
positions,
of your
being
post
up,
is
and honestly, having
invalid?
a solid position,
What the
and then
heck
fumbling
does
the
that
team
mean?
fighting a little bit, not being in positions to trade each other out, not considering where members of G2 could get to. And now they're stuck back down onto an eco, and G2 going fast over towards A to start here.
That previous round as well wasn't even one where Jorgamo had a huge level of impact with the Waylay. He dashed his way in over towards lane, got caught by a recon and had to leave. And essentially they just dry swung out through the smokes, all leaving it
Content
through
of your
different
post is
exits so that they
invalid.
couldn't
Okay.
get trapped there.
I'm just going to
But
forget that one.
That's one of those rounds where you see the Waylay not actually creating a ton of space, and they still found the value with the site exec.
That is part of the beauty of the Waylay, though, that even if that set play goes wrong, she's just going to refract all the way back towards the rest of the team, and you're just basically playing the same way you would if you had Jett no dash. And going for a re-exec there. You're not always sacrificing your Waylay for these set plays.
Mata's on an island here. I'll be able to at least take one head off, not quite. Leaf is far too sharp. Woke up early today. You see it, Thorns going up and overhead. This is G2. They've inserted Jorgamo for a late stage backstab. He's just tucked himself down into mid while the site take comes through. G2 will be able to get access to this one. It's left open and freely here for NRG, and here comes that backstab attempt, swinging right from the side, a refract as well. Now,
Next time you go to a popular event, take one and see if you can get Jake to sign it. Jake was there. I saw Jake from State Farm.
No way,
like as a real human being.
Jogamo is not slowing down.
And this might sound weird. This might sound really weird. Wait a minute. Did NRG win the first round and then lose the next two? Because I totally quit paying attention.
When he actually does slow down the round, you'll see rounds like that where he gets embedded in mid.
I saw him
he's
play
put down his
basketball
refract and just
against
contact
other
all
people.
the way
It's
up.
actually pretty
you
intense.
see someone and
It's cool.
you either kill them or you're getting out immediately and escaping with that information. It's showing some of the depth that this agent has.
He's brought some of the attack side macro
man, it's 6
from
o'clock.
when EG used to play Ascent in 2023 on their incredible run. That's the kind of stuff that Demon One used to do when they were, you know, doing incredible runs at Tokyo and winning champions. Now Mada's picked up the operator here and he's taking it over towards Cat, but it's actually
kinda.
going to
Zen.
take your first contact
Better.
in B main without really trips or much utility to defend this site.
Ethan is going to be under potentially a tremendous amount of pressure, but refract used, pulled back. There will be no dash engaged from Jorgamo. Slow and steady.
Chance for Mata with the ult, maybe in mid.
He's waiting for an opportunity to peek potentially with a jump spot. He's just missed the timing onto that one as smoke's going to be blooming up into his face, up through mid now, straight up the gut. The attempt in the approach now from G2, at least to see if they can pull some sort of reaction. Cutting it close, rebound off to the side, a flash as well. It's all picture perfect. Still the dart is a little bit even better, I would say, with Brock. Picks up the one. Looking to try and slow this one down, and he's going to need to be honest, because Ethan is on an island. Back to the wall, he's got Som to supplement and help him out as well with the reinforcements arriving, but the pause potentially called for. G2 just slowly trying to dissect this one. Smoke propped up, a bit of spam just removes one layer of it. They got to suspect that there could be an additional player, and Ethan's going to reveal himself anyway. Layers down a nade, it just lands short and shy of the mark. They know he's there.
Right.
It's just an inevitability. He's going to need a miracle, I think, to try
He
and
really
clean
does
this one
seem
up.
like a
The
nice
discipline
guy,
of G2 is not going to allow it. Leaves it just down to the one now. Brock in an unwinnable situation in a 1v3. He's got to know what his players are, but Valen is just too much on point.
I think there's a lot that's going to be said at the end of this match potentially about NRG. Oh, didn't they play so badly today? If indeed this map ends up going the same way as the first. But I think the defensive setup here is actually pretty good. As you said, that recon dart from Brock, this smoke that they throw in the site as well, the teleport in from Som to support Ethan in backside. But the problem is G2 are just too disciplined against this kind of stuff. They don't just run into a smoke.
What is he
and
doing?
die.
Dude, they're laughing at him.
Spam into it, catch Som, and isolate the 1v1s at the back of B. You're dealing with a different level of opponent here, and the normal defensive protocols aren't finding their value.
So G2 did it. Just feeling empowered right now. They've got all the momentum from the prior map. A win here. They know it. If they close up this series nice and pretty. Now Valen's been slow to a crawl. It's all good. Jogamo zipping us all way back, but a win here overall into the series will set G2 up with a lock in the playoffs for stage one. They're showing no signs of slowing it down. NRG just trying to prime themselves up for this retake, as well as Util comes flying forwards. Jonah P very aware of the angles, just trying to survive the spam coming his way. A flood out now in through Heaven as well. They're putting a squeeze onto variety of these players. Swinging out wide in front of Dice. NRG attempt to dissect up through onto the site once more. The Thorn's not broken in time, and Brock, oh my, has to step back a little bit, taking damage into the process, jumping through in your face. Shorty in play. Jorgamo is unleashed right now.
We talk a lot about how strong this composition is. It going for execs.
I feel, yo, what's up, Moto?
They do such a great job at their post plants in this map. Always having layered utility, be it the rechargeables.
Oh yeah, I don't care, Soft.
Thorns from the
I'll probably
to
play
keep
less
the
Rivals now.
retaking players from coming in. But besides all that, Jojimo is almost always being put in positions where he is allowed to just go loose and dominate in these post plant positions. Another round where he does it there, and true to his average, 2.0 KD to start this map.
Fighting for Zion.
Potential for a bit of a fight here at the start of this one.
Yeah, what a
Sure
play,
whether
dude.
Finesse and Brock were looking to fight over it heavily, but they're certainly putting a bit of pressure here as Jorg tries to take the space. A reminder that they don't have the null command or the
What do you think about me coming back to Valorant, Zen? I'll eventually play it some more, right? Yeah, let's go, Mata.
Finally, it's Mata getting some value out of this operator. He's been holding on.
I'm gonna start calling him NRG Nada. That's what he's bringing to the team, bro. Nada. Look at that. He's about to get walked up on right now.
Another pop at it. Jonah P slowly crawling up onto the line of side on the angle. Ethan looking to fill in the holes in the potential defensive setup here for NRG.
Mata's walked all the way through. He might have a timing on to try and...
Bro!
They're so ready.
NRG Nada.
I think a G2
After this
player
round, I
might
gotta
be
go talk
caught
to my
off
wife
guard.
about something.
Just turn and punish.
Potentially overzealous there here. Stillguard is going to be overlapping, clearing most of the way. Opportunities for Ethan to potentially avoid. That's the refract, gets the info, knows that at least there's one there, but it's going to be fading away in the gun. Line straight back up, a rare mistake.
No! Alright, I got two.
And Ethan's quick to capitalize.
Let's go, Nurge.
Chews up two of them, brings it into a 2v2.
Let's go, Nurge.
NRG into this retake. Best chance and odds they've had in quite some time.
Nurge, 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 Nurge. Oh, that timing was crazy, bro.
Trent might have just been spotted as well, backing off into main.
Oh yeah, here comes Jajamo.
Mark's being cleared up for NRG when they're trying to play this retake.
The timing on this reflank is perfect from Jajamo.
And he's already slipped straight behind. There seems to be that level of awareness potentially. No, Brock is just all over the place here, and he's none the wiser. None the wiser.
GG's! Everyone goes down 9 ranks. So we're gonna start silver,
Every
gold.
single post plant. This
9
guy
ranks, huh?
going huge with multi-frags.
All right,
Another
back.
4K in Jaw.
He's
5 rounds in a row, 1 for G2 now.
10-3.
Yeah.
He's 10-3 after 6 rounds played. Just keeping up the same level of momentum from map 1, the same level of momentum every time he's played Waylay on this map. And I swear, he used his ult in the previous round and he has it online again immediately afterwards. How has he done that? That's ridiculous.
It's light work for a guy like Jorg, apparently. Reactions like that, and it's forced the timeout from NRG.
When we used to think about finesse-led teams, the energies of old, Optic back when that was his thing, what we always prided them for was how good they were at in chaotic mid-rounds, finding the perfect time to pause, slow things down, and be ready for the next fight. But I think G2 has really taken that on perfectly. When they're in their mid-rounds, they're almost always finding that moment to slow things down, commit together to one direction of a team fight, and punish NRG in these team fights that, for them, have been looking very chaotic all series.
Yeah, and we teed up this series really at the beginning of it, talking about the old guard versus the new guard ever so slightly. Listen, the torch passing happened about a year back, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about ancient history at this point in terms of these finesse-led teams versus this team that used to be known as the guard. They used to be the bushy-tailed, big-eyed, looking so green on the big stage, but at this point, they are the experienced top dogs and they're showcasing it.
But Bren, this was supposed to be the year where NRG takes that back. This is where they were dominating in the offseason. They were supposed to win kickoff. But thus far, it's been all about G2.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course they did. They won one round. Yeah, it's...
well, here it is.
This guy's got to be a liar, right? He says he owns 3,000 shares of Bitcoin.
In action, but you've been slow to a crawl, and here's the punish, capitalizing and collapsing onto these players. There's no hope anymore in RG, man. Pack it up, hit the uninstall button.
See you later, FNS. All right, chat. I gotta go. I'm gonna go hang out with my family.
You play slow, and G2
This game is
finds the
over.
better spot to
Yeah, dude.
pause
If you
and
look him up,
controlling the
his
chaos.
name is
It's tough out here.
Stevio.
It is tough. It's got to feel
or
brutal
at
on the stage for
8-bit
NRG currently.
Steve.
Because no matter
O.
what they try, they are getting outclassed.
Come on, you guys don't
He
believe in
says
the
over
finesse
3,000
here?
shares and counting.
The finesse stinger 1v3.
You want to tell the story? How does it begin? Well, he was wrapping around heaven, and
Lying,
he managed to ISO a fight.
I wouldn't even
main.
start with that one, Bren.
Yeah, ISO to fight a main, and
That's
somehow
what it sounds
kill
like.
2 players.
3,000 shares, my jars.
Out of time, and then
All right,
got
all right,
one
boys.
kill
I'm
and
out of here.
died.
I may or may not be back tonight.
No, he actually
But,
did.
Okay,
have a
but
good
he
night.
has
Catch
run
you
out
guys
of
soon.
time.
Yeah,
Bye.
unfortunate.
Not exactly playing to his outs.